I am so excited to tell you that we are all ready for the run. Once again, my name is Zokovan, and it is my pleasure to be here hosting for our next run, The Secret of Varonis, Any Percent by Leggy Starscream. Leggy, the floor is yours.
Okay, we all know what the secret is. Don't tell anyone. It has to stay a secret, okay?
I thought the secret was that we were going to actually change over to Final Fantasy Legend 2.
No, this is Final Fantasy Legend 2. What are you talking about?
Inven, what's the secret of Varonis?
I'm still trying to figure it out. It's complicated.
Yeah, so anyway, I'm Leggy Starscream. This is Demerine. This is Inven. I was going to have a third commentator, Natara, but unfortunately they couldn't make it down tonight, but they're here with me in spirit. And of course, I know that you were just told about the wonderful naming vid wars, but unfortunately those are going to have to close now. So, what is our human name?
Well, it looks like Natara was able to make it after all, because coming in at that $58 is Natara.
Oops. All right. So we've got Natara. Then we have our monster.
Well, it looks like chat was a big fan of Larpus today, because Larpus is still sitting pretty with $55 raised.
I am also a big fan of Larpus.
Can't believe we're going to take Larpus on an adventure now.
I can. Can we get the robot name?
Absolutely, and that is Mechalink, and I can go ahead and spell that for you. That's Mekalink.
Mm-hmm. Which, Mechalink, good friend, and also saves me from having to talk about Klingo, which is a thing I know way too much about. Right. And then finally, we have our Esper named Millie. Sadly, this cannot be a bid war because of RNG reasons with this game that we'll get into when it becomes relevant. We're going to go ahead and pick casual mode for the ability to restore charges of weapons and ins. The dead retargeting thing is nice, but not super important. And then we're going to play in fixed mode, which has this giant screen talking about like all the things going on in it. I don't want to keep us here too long. I'll let these two talk about everything on here once we get started. So, let's get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, Demerine, do you want to talk about the different modes this game offers for casual players, or talk about what little bit of a starting plot is happening?
So, we'll quickly talk about modes then. This is fixed, which the big thing is we're going to actually see the encounters on the field, and there's a limited number of encounters out there. And the RNG is a little bit more fixed, so fights that you go into, if you don't like rearrange your party, you're going to get the same outputs from the same inputs consistently. The other two modes have things like random encounters, and the RNG is a little bit more shuffled up and allows you to do a little bit more grinding. If you've played Final Fantasy Legend 2 in particular, this game is very much a love letter to the Final Fantasy Legend series and saga in general, and is really kind of a neat reimagining, and sort of follows that sort of thread of retro RPGs recently, where they're all trying to sort of take homage to games of the past, and this one is actually a really, really cool look at the Final Fantasy Legend series. But now, Inven, do you want to let us know what's going on here?
Yeah, so we have a brief flashback to our party's youth when these older folks in the village, Jonas and Janine, set off on an adventure to access the sealed city of Varonis and learn its secrets. We miss them. We'd like to follow suit. So we're setting off into the world with our guardian bot, Borg, to look after us until we get our legs under us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this early in the game, Borg's stats are just absolutely ridiculous compared to the rest of our party, which makes, this a nice tutorial segment, learning about the game, the mechanics, the different sorts of attacks we can deal with. And also, we're getting some nice early loot.
the one thing that we are doing here is we are looking for encounters that are a single enemy where possible, because each of the classes that we have gain stats in different ways, and the primary way that Espers gain stats is that at the end of fights, sometimes you'll see a little pop-up that says that they mutate, and you'll get the choice of 2 options. The thing that we're really looking for is hit points, because there are some hit point breakpoints that will make later fights a little bit nicer in terms of being able to survive a hit. So we are not happy so far. I know Leggy told me not to do this, but I'm going to do it, which is at the end of the run for Millie, every hit point over 100, I'm going to donate $1. So if Millie gets good rolls, going to make a good donation. If Millie does not get good rolls, then, again, I'm trying to tempt the RNG with donations to Nami for sure.
If you'll pardon me, Leggy, I'm going to move your mouse just a little bit to get that cursor off the play window.
Yes, apologies.
Excellent. Thank you. So notably, Varonis often offers you different choices for how you want to proceed. Like several, again, we love referencing Saga 2 here, where some worlds give you multiple choices. This dungeon is actually entirely optional if you're doing a casual playthrough. You can walk the long way around, but we're trying to get a little bit of cash under us, a little bit of loot, and ideally some of those HP gains. So it may seem unnecessary, but we will be thankful for these resources as we get later in the act and don't necessarily have a guardian robot looking after us.
Yeah, so we're moving some gear around here. The primary thing is that the interesting one is how the robot gains stats, is that based upon the equipment that you equipped to your robot, they get the corresponding stat, be it strength, agility, mana, are the big 3. But ideally right now in this stretch of the game, we're going to put agility on. Agility makes you go first, and it makes you more accurate, and it also gives you hit rate, which will come into play much later.
Yeah, and also the weapons we're equipping to the robot right now have a damage multiplier that is based off of the robot's agility stat. So not only do we get all those wonderful benefits, we're also going to see our robot start scaling out of control once we get a few more pieces of equipment strapped onto it.
Yeah, there'll be some important shopping that we do through the early and middle stretches of the run to basically give the robot piles of stats here. So
yeah, and there's a trade-off. Typically, a strength weapon of comparable level will do a little more damage, but if you don't have the agility to actually hit with it, you're just going to end up whiffing and regretting it. One great thing about opening up with agility on the robot is you'll note that at the start, we chose our party. Whoever you choose for slot 1 is going to be a little more advanced than if you chose them for slot 2, 3, or 4. The female human we chose starts with a saber, a tier 4 agility weapon that's gonna let Mecha Link tear through a lot of enemies in the early game.
Yeah, whereas the comparable strength weapons for a human starts at I think it's just tier 2, rather than the tier 4 saber that we have here.
yeah, but Borg is going to take down the 2 other enemies while we put the rest of our focus into the witch on the left here. We're also defending with Millie. We put a shield on her, and what shields do is when you use them in combat, they give you bonus defensive stats. The idea is that we want Millie alive at the end of a lot of these fights to see if we can get more hit points on her, because we want her to be able to survive.
Yeah, we don't hate seeing other stats on her, but obviously hit points are the big one, because you need to be able to take a hit. Starting with 20 HP does not leave a lot of room to breathe, especially later in the game.
Yeah. And in fact, initially routing this game and using some of the names that we choose and the party order we choose, Millie's not always going to stay in slot 4, but just with how the early enemies like to target, you'd think the front row, and according to the game data, it should be targeted more often, but some enemies are just like, oh, I'm gonna get that Esper, and do not relent.
Yeah, the way that it's presented, and you'll see it when we go into the reorder menu, is that it says the front row gets targeted at a 3 times rate, the second slot gets targeted at a 2 times rate, and then every other slot, after that is a 1 times rate.
but we did get some dive gear. We got some scuba gear, which we needed to actually go into this underwater dungeon. And so
We are having a rough time of this.
Yeah, the mermaid caught. There we go. Nice escape.
Yeah, luckily, reviving is easy. You just go to an inn, pay a little cash, call it a day. And because we're in fixed mode, we basically know where every encounter is in the game. There are, you know, all the encounters spawn at the same point. It's just not always the same encounters that spawn.
Yep. Of course, we dropped David off. We got him to drop him off in town after rescuing him. We'll never see him again.
Another fun thing is you'll notice that as Leggy's traversing these towns, sometimes she's walking, sometimes she's jumping. In fact, jumping is the faster means. On any straightaway, you want to be jumping, but you can't turn while jumping. You have to stop hopping. So movement in this game is actually very tricky if you want to optimize it.
Yeah, so we grab five additional rapiers there, and we grab a shock staff for Millie. The 5 additional rapiers are, of course, all immediately strapped to your robot, so we have a Roomba with knives now. Many knives, multiple knives. So the idea is that it is, very powerful at this juncture in the game, and the shock staff is just useful because we want to have some thunder damage for a couple of fights in a little bit.
Unseen plot that happens, that Plainstown was holding one of the relics of Varonis, but they've been attacked by bandits. You can find that out by going to the town. We don't care. The plot trigger activated, and we're heading right to the enemy base.
And for those of you familiar with the Final Fantasy Legend 2 speedrun, you'll notice that Natara doesn't have any equipment on that can be used in combat right now, which means that when I do the menu choosing my actions for the party, they just get skipped for now.
And yes, the flashlight is a relic of Varonis. We have scuba gear, we have a flashlight.
Would you say it's the scuba gear of Varonis?
It's the flashlight of Varonis, the scuba gear of Varonis, the walkie-talkie of Varonis. All those legendary relics from an ancient magical civilization.
Of Varonis. But yeah, there's also a lot of items routed in here. Those potions do increase your stats, but a lot of them end up getting used up for money because the biggest thing in this speed run, as we go along, as you see, we've done some shopping already, and there'll be a lot of shopping in this speed run. And so money routing becomes super important.
Yeah. Who wants to talk about the augur fight?
Sure. The augur is an interesting enemy who is here to kind of teach you about certain enemy counter mechanics. Augur will alternate using a weapon that counters all physical attacks and an ability that counters all magic attacks. And that is notably one of the reasons we've left the shield on Millie for now. If she was forced to just use that Thunderstaff over and over, she would very quickly die to reflected spell damage. And it's one reason why they were nice enough to give David, who did rejoin us here, both a magical gun attack and a physical axe attack. So the fight's free as long as you go back and forth between physical and magic.
Yeah.
So we use our walkie-talkie to basically talk to the people on the other side of the door, and they're like, "Yeah, sure, we'll let you into Varonis." So that's Varonis. We found it. The secret is Varonis is right there.
And we'll note that the jumping there also used to avoid a dialogue that normally in a casual playthrough you talk to that guard, they'll give you more background info, like, hey, we're the Knights of Varonis, we protect the city and its secrets. We have no time for that. We just go boing boing, and they are gone.
Yeah, so this is a meat shop. This is one of the new features that wasn't in previous, like the inspiration games that the devs added here to make things a little more consistent, a little nicer. Unlike the classic Saga games, when you eat a monster's meat, you turn it into that monster, asterisk. There are very specific exceptions involving meat drops from boss monsters. And the meat shop just allows us to have some very consistent first couple of monster evolutions. In particular, this skunk is going to be critical for getting through our first boss here.
It's also nice because if you are playing on fixed mode casually, just learning the game, you think that that'll be fun as a challenge run. Well, if you run out of monsters to kill and eat, well, the meat shop's got you covered.
Mm-hmm.
So David leaves again. We are told that we need to go touch a mirror in order to gain access to more of the world, and that's super important. So we're obviously going to listen to the old oracle. The Knights of Varonis, of course, are stopping us from getting in here, but we're going to go around the outside. We're going to grab a musket here, which is one of the firearms weapons that we will use in the run, because it's fairly powerful, but a little inaccurate.
Yeah, gun type weapons, firearm type weapons. Again, following the whole fixed damage, accuracy can be a tricky situation, and often have a variety of special effects.
7 years of bad luck.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm sure that we didn't do anything wrong, especially because now all the Knights of Varonis are gone, except for that one over there who we could talk to get some information. We ain't got time for that.
So we pick up this revive potion of Varonis. It is going to be turned into cash.
The Cache of Varonis.
We'll be grabbing revive potions later when we need them later, but when money's a little bit less tight. But for now, we're going to do a little bit of re-equipping. The whip is slightly better stats. We're going to make sure that we have a weapon and a shield on Tara here, and we're going to take our first safety save because we're coming up to our first major boss of the run.
That's right. The Oracle was actually one of the Elder Gods.
And notably, it changes into another sprite that you would see in a casual playthrough. It's the mayor of the central hub of this world, whose house we never went into and never spoke with whatsoever. So when you see the transformation into a mysterious bearded man with a cool hat, you're supposed to know who that is, but no time for that.
Right, so the thing that we got for our skunk is an ability called Stench. What this does is that it reduces the strength of the target. The swords do strength-based damage, so by reducing their strength, we are going to greatly decrease their output. And then once we've reduced the output on the swords enough, we're going to go ahead and switch over to Rudra afterwards to make sure that we can kind of keep ourselves alive through this fight. One of the interesting things in terms of the UI here is that you can see as we target the enemies, you can see that we don't know how much health they have. It shows as question, question, question. But we know that means that Rudra's health is between 100 and 999. We can use this to sort of track fights a little bit. I have the condensed notes in my hand right now, but it does not have boss hit points on it, so I never remember what they are.
I know offhand that Rudra has 750. But yeah, I mostly just go off vibes and the question marks to see whether or not I've hit the next threshold over.
Yeah, and the thing is that a lot of fights, but notably this one, the main thing that makes Rudra behave differently is not an HP threshold on Rudra, it's did you kill both of their little side sabers. There's some bosses in the game that have similar thresholds like that. It's more what you've done to the enemy group than one enemy falling below a certain HP total. So it's not a great concern, it's you are done when the enemy dies.
And as we can see, we're down to double-digit health, and Rudra falls.
Very clean. Not a single party member fell to a nasty Rudra attack that fight. Beautiful.
And we got max health. Let's go!
And you could have a cutscene there, but not us. We're just going to jump over it.
Yeah, we're gonna skip basically all of the plot of this game.
Yeah.
I think the important things that you need to know is that this is the Tower of Babel. It's gigantic, and we're going to climb it because this is the true secret of Varonis. Is that there's a giant tower in the middle of Varonis. And the other secret is that we need more hit points. I think that was what I was going to say.
But I think there is a third secret to ask, which is, hey, Zokubun, you got any secrets to share with us right now?
Absolutely. We've got a lot of love coming in for your run. I do want to first draw attention to this $10 donation from Vanivan, who said, I know I said that I was going to bed, but I just couldn't miss watching Leggy do a run for RPGLB. Leggy, you're amazing, and I adore you more than you know. Put this money towards Runner's Choice. And just let me reconfirm real quick. Your runner's choice for our upcoming incentives is for our Final Fantasy 12. That's the very next game. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
And we've got 2 incentives open right now. And the new game minus mode, I'm being told, is actually, we need to meet that before the start of the run. So we only have the length of your run to get that met. And when we do that, it will force our next runner to play through the game at a low level. You've heard of New Game Plus. Now take a look at New Game Minus.
Aw, yeah.
You got time for more?
Yeah, we probably have time for another one.
All right. Well, just real quick, that New Game Minus mode is sitting pretty at $535 out of $800. So get those donations in now. And then we can go hit the other donation incentive, which I believe is actually your runner's choice, the blindfolded Gabranth and Dr. Sid fight. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. I am super excited to sleep through that and then watch the VOD later. I'm going to be honest. I am sorry.
All right, so get your donations in. But speaking of donations, I do have $10 from Neon Gray saying, so sad I couldn't be there, everyone. Hope you're all having a great time. Secret of Varonis may actually be my game of the year 2024. So if you're watching, you should play this game. It's cheap and good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we passed through several floors of the tower and entered a new world, a war-torn world, and we spied Jonas, our adopted older brother, being taken away by some troops. Not a real good idea of what's going on. There's apparently some kind of, if you talk to all the NPCs, there's an unending war between the wolf and the worm, but we don't really care about that right now. We just want to get our older brother back. And to do that, well, we're going to go be all you can be.
We're going to join the army of the wolf. And we're certainly going to fight for them and not for ourselves or anything.
Yeah, because, the wolf and the worm have been at war for so long. We have to pick a side, and we just happened to be on this one.
Oh no, they were waiting for us. But... Pacifist percent.
Yeah, on second thought, we're good.
Yeah, that's one of the other little quirks of fixed mode right there. Because of the way the RNG is seated, we know that is always going to be a preemptive with our skunk friend, and we can just run away.
Yeah, of note, you've gotten more hit points on Millie than you did in practice, so let's go.
I don't think your wallet wants to talk about it.
Look, I want to make sure I made a nice donation this year. Being reemployed has been fantastic, so... we're gonna make the magic happen. And again, tempting the RNG with donation dollars is a surefire way to get the RNG to work in your favor. Totally, 100% of the time, it never fails.
Can confirm. Do computer witchcraft.
Sneaking through a secret area in the worm's basement here to find another elemental crystal. Those will be handy down the road. Right now, there's a set number we collect on the run. Fairly essential to make the end game viable. And if you were paying close attention, you'll note that in that first town, Leggy brought an item called a return. There aren't many dungeons in the Secret of Varonis that actually restrict teleport use. There are some where we'll actually get locked in to plot. Others just make you think you're locked into plot. We're out of here. No need to do the mini-boss of this castle.
Yeah, and the thing is that notably it has one use, but the item stays in our inventory. So when we stay at the end, it will reload our return. It reloads all the items that are both on characters and in our inventory, which is super useful.
Mm-hmm.
So routing in the return was a piece that now let's for some skips, getting out of dungeons a little faster, and overall just tightened up the route a little bit.
Yeah. It was actually I kind of figured it out by accident because I would, do runs and heal at various points and be like, wait, why do I still have this return in my inventory? I used it. And then eventually did a little bit of work and figured out, oh, okay. And, I'm going to drop down into this basement, which would be a bit of a pain to walk out of. We've got these spike tiles with it's a lot of walking. Might as well just hit the menu, hit the return, get on our way.
Yep.
If you note over on the right, our party has been joined by Laura. We actually ran right past her at the start when Jonas was kidnapped. You could have spoken to her for even more lore. She was the one who was there with the guards waiting for us on the beach. She knows actually what's going on in this world and just also wants to rescue Jonas. So we've teamed up for now. We're going to find out the truth of War-Torn World, and Laura's going to help us do it.
Mm-hmm.
Notably, she does have a heal spell, which ends in this game are 1 GP per HP. So what do? Heal up beforehand and enjoy your free night stay.
So we're going to go in for another shop here, it looks like. The big thing is we definitely want to hang on to the scarf and the silver armor. The scarf in particular, any of the accessories in particular, what they do is they give us damage reduction or immunities to certain things. This will come in handy a little bit later with a couple of other pieces of gear we get. But the scarf, I believe, is immunity to projectile weapons.
Mm-hmm.
This comes in handy for any boss that uses a bow-type attack, a gun-type attack. The character that has the scarf equipped, which will be pretty specific in the routing, will be immune to that damage, which will be really handy.
Yeah, it'll be our human. I'm just going to do that menuing a little bit later once we get the rest of the equipment we need. I just wanted to make sure I bought the robot equipment, which increases the robot's HP before I did the heal.
Yep. It also will increase the robot's damage, which will be nice as well.
It will be appreciable on the next boss. The robot's going to do somewhere in the 120 range.
One more stop to another little side dungeon here. Strength potion there, again, just cash money. We are not worried too much about the stat ups in this game except for the HP on Natara. But there's a few other things we need to get in here, both for money and, again, for that end game crystal turn-in that you'll see down the road.
Yeah, those crystalline shards will be familiar to you if you played Final Fantasy Legend 3. The system is, exceedingly similar to the system from that game, where you get the elemental crystals and you turn them into magic, and you get the black and white, you get the light and dark crystals to turn them into equipment. That's going to happen later, and so you're going to forget that I said that now, so I'm going to say it again later, but for now, that's why we're grabbing them, is we need to turn them into very specific equipment later.
Yeah, there's some really good good end game equipment we'll be picking up with those, and we'll talk about those pieces, as previously mentioned, when we get there.
One of my favorite thematic things about this world is that all these areas are connected by these weird, winding, underground, under-mountain tunnels, almost as if, some sort of giant worm carved them. The world actually reflects what's going on. They could have just had wander around the overworld, but no. They actually made each world match the themes of what they're going for in a very, very nice and clean way.
Yeah. I just want to take this moment to shout out the developers of this game. Been hanging out in their Discord for this game for a while now. Basically, as soon as it released and as soon as Inven and I started routing the speedrun, we were hanging out there, chatting with them, trying to understand how things worked, and they've just been nothing but excellent.
Okay, so we're going to take the time to equip some gear to Natar because we want to make sure that she can defend the party. We're also going to upgrade the gear on our Esper Millie here.
I'm just going to make sure there isn't anything I'm missing.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And notably, even with the fur armor, Millie's not going to survive a whole bunch of melee hits, but it provides complete immunity to ice, and that is a big enemy sprite.
Mm-hmm. So for all my Final Fantasy Legend friends, what do we say about enemies that are bigger than one tile?
They're evil. So basically what ends up happening is that the wolf and the worm are just like, oh, you're a way bigger problem because you are here to kill the gods. We can't really be having that because we're the gods. But we're going to use the same strategy that we used in this other fight, which is we're going to target down one enemy and stench up the other one. So we're going to target down Ormagonder here, and then we are going to stench down Fenrir's strength so that Fenrir can't hurt us anymore. And then we are going to embarrass Fenrir in glorious combat.
Also, what? The two opposing sides of this eternal war are actually working in cahoots? Who'da thunk?
I mean, look, when you're here to attack and dethrone God, they quite understand. The big thing is we do want to also get Fenrir's strength down a ton because he will start using a high strength multiplier attack once Ormagander goes down as well. So,
Yeah, and if you do this the opposite way and kill the wolf before killing the worm, that is a bit of a rougher go of it. But we'll leave you to figure that out in your own casual playthroughs once you give this game a go.
So yeah, now that we have downed Jormungandr here, you're going to start seeing Fenrir breaking out this attack Gleipnir. The big thing is this is a high strength damage stunning attack, so if you haven't taken your action yet, there's a chance that you will lose your action. Does not always cause you to lose the action, as you can see there, but it is notable that it also hurts like heck.
Larpus, no!
The good news, though, is Larpus did get enough stenches off there on Fenrir to where the rest of the team will be able to handle this just fine. You see Gleipnir's not doing that much damage at this point, and we should be seeing that wolf down to 2-digit HP fairly soon here.
Yeah, like at this point, we are very comfortable in terms of damage ranges. Laura is doing a great job of keeping us out of the scary realm.
And speaking of the scary realm, Fenrir talks about hell.
We are not taking X-Fire.
No, sometimes the game gives you the option to take a weakness to an element. We're definitely not taking weakness to fire because that's just inviting severe problems down the road.
Yeah, a nice little holdover from the game that this is taking inspiration from.
Utopia.
No. This game takes inspiration from games that were inspired by Utopia.
Notably, again, you saw Jonas resting in the bed with Lara looking after him. We could have talked to her and learned what we're doing next. No, there's no need for that. But for those of you who are curious, they've told us to go on to the next world, seek the sage Inven, who is seeking to seal the doors between worlds to keep the gods from entering new ones and destroy them. But that doesn't sound like very much fun for our kind of team. We're more of the, what's the term again, Demi?
We are here to, well, we just diverted Ragnarok by slaying Fenrir, so good job us. But those are 2 gods that we killed. 2.
God kill counter up to 3 now.
Yeah, let's go.
Notably here, this is a very itty-bitty world called Heavenly World. I actually completely missed this on my first casual playthrough. Varonis, the Tower of Babel is interspersed with major plot worlds, and then these little other ones that have like cute little plot points or tell you more about the universe. We are here for a very specific reason, and this is why there was no name incentive for our Esper. If all goes according to plan here,
Which it is.
I love it when things go according to plan. We're going to get a very important ability after the 3rd fight, and we'll tell you a little more about that in a second. But why is your Esper in slot 1? I thought that's where you got your butt kicked if you stuck someone there.
Yeah, so RNG manipulation, basically. I know that on these fights, the enemies are very, very angry at who's ever in slot 4, no matter who it is. So I put Tara down there to, be the wonderful Dark Knight they are and tank some hits.
But yeah, we're going to use that robot to cut down. And there's the ability. We're going to acquire the ability Gaze. And Inven, do you want to tell us about the ability Gaze here?
Yeah, the ability Gaze is fantastic. This is a single target confusion, which you may think, oh, well, we're not doing random encounters. We're not taking any more fights than we need to. What good is that? Surely it doesn't work on bosses. Wrong. It is not only effective on bosses, it makes some of them so much easier as long as you get it to keep sticking. Apparently in an earlier test version of the game, this monster Siren would always give an Esper a multi-target confuse. The devs got rid of that in a hurry. Thank you for still letting us have Gaze, though. Very nice.
Now we're just going to be climbing the tower again, so Zokabun, what you got for us?
Well, we have some love coming in from the previous run that was Dragon Quest XI Any Percent. They had a bet, much like you've got going on. Well, not really a bet, but basically for every certain amount of things happening, they would donate. And let's start with this $100 from Keanu. As promised, $90 for the 4 party wipes and the 1 hunter mech spawn. Thank you again to everyone who donated to help get the extra incentives met. And thank you to RPG Limit Break for allowing me the privilege of sharing one of my favorite games of all time with everyone. Remember all, be good to one another. Don't be afraid to say you're not okay if you aren't. And always know there is someone out there you can reach out to when you need. Love you all, and let's enjoy the rest of the marathon together. Put this towards host choice, and I am absolutely shunting that towards the new game minus mode. We are $90 away from getting that met. And if I can tantalize you a little bit more on that, new game minus mode apparently means you can't level up at all, so you're stuck on a low level for the entirety of the run. Let's make things harder for our next runner. Should I be saying that?
Yes.
So in terms of plot, we are now in Los Angeles. And if you talk to everyone, you learn that the humans live in automated luxury cities while all the monsters of the world are toiling in the mines. You could learn, you have to take the path through this mine and this volcano and these ruins to find the rebel base. We know the shortcut from the other side that is not blocked in any way. It is just, you have to know the tile. This cuts off probably a good 10 minutes of wandering through dungeon after dungeon, dodging enemy after enemy, because we have other means of getting strong, as we've already seen, and do not need those resources in this world to take it down.
Akuba is the second in command of the monstrous resistance, and so he ends up coming with us because he is here in the fight against class stratification and wants to bring equality to all the monsters, and that's awesome. Do good things for the people in your life. And now we're going to go ahead onward to this shrine here.
And the Island Ruins.
Where we're going to find some more loot. X potions are a better three-use healing item. So we're going to kind of hold on to those. There's some treasure boxes in here. That's a lot of treasure.
Yeah. Let me just grab this one.
No, that one. There, okay, that one actually has a water shard in it. Every single other one of those boxes, by the way, in your casual playthrough, you should open them. There is actually some useful loot in there, I promise. Wait, why are you laughing at me?
There's a very useful Steam achievement for opening all of them.
We love Steam achievements. But yeah, we roll up and then the game is just like, hey, you're not supposed to be here. And we're like, no, we are. And how are you going to prove it? Violence. We're going to choose violence.
Yeah, we could have taken a more stealthy approach. The cow was like, the resistance, the Brotherhood attacks, die, monsters.
I guess they don't belong in this world. I don't know.
Maybe they do belong in this world. Maybe we don't belong in this world. We're just imposing our will on this world. And yes, while we do intend to make it a better place, who is it? Is it truly our place to come and kill gods?
I mean, we've been kind of okay at it. Also, best track of the game, bar none. Changed my mind.
Bangers only. But we do need that key to access an area a little bit later. We need those diamond gloves because those eventually get equipped, don't they?
Mm-hmm. Notably, this is a research facility where the god in charge of this world, supposedly magnanimous, is working on finding ways to open the doors and the gates to the rest of the tower. Supposedly with the intention of, climbing it, ascending, being an actual beneficent lord of all. What's the god's name of this world again?
The Prince.
The Prince.
The Prince, yes, the Prince.
He wishes to become a god among gods, which is basically what a lot of the gods end up aspiring to, is they wish to become the god of all gods, the head of all worlds. Is that why we're killing them?
We just want to find our family. Oh, speaking of which, hi, Janine.
And there goes the best song of the game. We will never hear it again. That is not a joke.
Boo.
You can hear it again if you go get The Secret of Varonis and enjoy playing the game yourself. You can listen to it as much as you want. We're not stopping you.
Or the devs are supposedly going to release the soundtrack with the next major patch update. So I am very much looking forward to throwing money and just blasting that in the car.
So we got arrested for, siding with the monsters, and the humans aren't really into that. So we've been arrested and we've been thrown into prison. So we're in the middle of a prison break right now, and we're going to ignore all these guards, and they're going to ignore us too. I don't know why. We walk right by them, but I guess we're heckin' stealthy. So
Yeah, Janine didn't want us to blow her cover, but she was nice enough to break us out. Surely there's more at work here. Is she really on the side of the prince? Actually, she just wants to attack and dethrone gods as badly as we do.
Mm-hmm.
let's go.
Switch puzzles, yay!
I mean, we know the solution to it because speedruns, but
Bird enemies. One of the really interesting and really cool touches in this game is that the overworld sprites for enemies have different behavior based off of what this actual map sprite is. For instance, birds can fly over terrain, horse enemies will charge you, and those are the... Oh yeah, and skeletons stay as a skull for a little bit and then spawn.
And so after being thrown in the prison far to the east, we've made our way back to the main part of the continent. Time to report in. Surely Zacalba understands, we didn't want to hurt our friend. Now he's going to immediately narc us out to his boss as not being true to the cause. Haven understands, though. He's a wise sage. He understands, the best things to solve the secret of Varonis.
yeah, so let us run amok and kill gods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently he also knows who Jonas is.
He knows a lot of people.
We should keep an eye on that one.
I don't know if that's worrisome or not, but yeah. So
He's a wise sage. Obviously, he knows a lot of things, which includes people.
I mean, I say never trust anyone whose name ends in VEN, but that's just me.
What about starts? Because I'm still not sure about that Vanitas guy.
is that really a Kingdom Hearts reference in the middle of our Varonis run?
Look, it's after midnight. I'm a little punchy.
Like Kingdom Hearts punchy.
Yeah. So now we're here. We're talking to Janine, and when she walks away, we're just gonna go down and not worry about what she says.
Because we don't hear her say. We definitely don't tell her, please don't go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so welcome to the plutonium mines, where the aforementioned monsters are toiling away. Some of them are, class traders.
Yeah, they're trying to make the materials to make bombs down here. That's real bad. We need to blow out these turbines to stop the bombs from being, from the raw material for bombs from being made here.
Yeah, the other thing they're using the plutonium for is switching from, there's this event city that we've not seen yet. You can ideally, in a casual run, you'll go there immediately, see like, oh, it's so nice. Look at all their luxury. Let me buy stuff. But of course, we don't mind. But apparently they're upgrading from, coal power to nuclear power to break open the seals on the gates. And again, we don't trust any god. We're not going to be going for that. And this is a cute little maze, and again, like, if you talk to the friendly monsters, they all give you little tips of how to get to all 4 turbines. We already know that, so no big deal.
It's called being a gamer.
So now we're back here to report to Inven to say, hey, we blew up the turbines and stopped the mining operation, but he's like, you've got to go save my friend, because he's going to go do something reckless, and that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
No other characters in this game ever do anything reckless either, so, one-time thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You did the thing, love.
Yeah, after your first trip to that city is when you'd find that tunnel, but again, completely not blocked. And there's an entire other half of this map that you all could get to explore if you wanted to. Not us. We just don't care.
And welcome to LA.
Hooray.
Much nicer than real life.
True.
Now with 87% less smog. But we're going to upgrade our monster to a Manowar from the Skunk. Gives us a better ability list for later.
We actually now have a true water-type Pokemon for our monster.
Do some quick equipping.
While you're doing that equipping, I'm having a heated discussion here in these donations I'd love to bring to you, Inven, Demi, and Leggy.
Oh, please.
All right. Well, I feel like let's start with this $15 from Lady Ariana, who asked, if this game is a secret, how do we know about it? These are the answers to questions we must know the answers to. Or maybe the answers we need questions to. You know, I'll get back to you on this. Here's $15, $5 for every time I fell into the ghost dance pit in my run earlier. Good luck on your run. I'm behind you all the way, and literally tonight. Less than three. And also $15 from Margaret Ann, who says the real secret of Varonis is the friends we made along the way, like the Roomba with swords duct taped to it. Good luck, friendo. And I'm a little curious to hear what all of your secrets of Varonis are. Please send it in your donations, and while you're at it, put those donations towards an incentive. Again, we are only $90 away from hitting that new game minus mode incentive for Final Fantasy XII, which is coming up next. You've got less than 2 hours to go, but see how fast Leggy is running through this, and you see how hilarious this commentary is. You're going to be so busy laughing, so get those donations in now.
Alternatively, donate for your favorite joke we tell tonight.
I did like the Kingdom Hearts one.
Hey, Leggy, I figured out what the secret of Varonis is. It is the power of friendship. And this gun we found.
So we have arrived at the power plant, by the way, which in the first release of the game, you could jump over those turnstiles at the start, not blocked by anything. So you could literally enter Angel's World and come right to this cutscene and have no idea what's going on. You come to this cutscene with Zacalba in your party and have two of them in play at the same time. They did patch that out within about a week.
Yeah. So Prince bails out, and the robots here are supposed to, are torturing Zacalba here because,
Rebel scum.
Yeah, pretty much. But then they realize something really scary is coming. That's right, it's time that we have to face down the power of Robot God.
Yeah, you can tell that the prince is a little cheekier than some of the other ones we've dealt with, because instead of dealing with us himself, well, why do that when you have giant murder bots?
So the big thing here is that we have Sting on our Larpus now, which is a paralysis ability to go with our Gaze ability, which will allow us to charm the boss. But right now what we're doing is we're switching, again, noted when we talked earlier about the RNG, we did not want to get Flamethrower there, clearly. Flamethrower is the most powerful attack that this enemy has. So what we do here is we're going to heal up, switch the locations of the two characters, and hope that this changes how the early fight goes. A lot of the time, if somebody gets picked off, but it's because we didn't heal them, there are ways that we kind of get around that and make sure that we're really healing in different orders to keep people alive. So we're going to kind of keep track of what moves the machine uses early on.
Yeah, the first two world bosses we dealt with, both Rudra and then the Wolf and the Worm, even though things can go awry there, you can usually eke things out. The machine is the first fight where if Millie's low HP caused her to fall, you do need to reset if you're fairly early in the fight. That Gaze attack is so good versus this enemy. Larpus's Sting attack, so good versus this enemy. So very essential to keep them up early. So if this Flamethrower knocks either of them down, you will see Leggy reset, rearrange the party until we get things going. Gaze lands, paralyze the Sting lands on the left drone. This is how you want the fight to start.
Yeah, so the two drones have different effects they do. The one on the left heals the machine by 120 points every time it takes an action, and the one on the right removes status effects, like we saw, which is why we focused that one down. If we take down both of them, just like everyone's favorite fight from Final Fantasy IV, the machine will take the minute to revive both of them, and you have to take them down again, and it's the whole thing. Much easier just to take the one down and then just burn down the machine. 120 HP, our robot, takes care of that relatively quickly if it gets unstunned. And I'm trying to do my best to pay attention to the text down here at the bottom. You'll notice the machine got rid of paralysis, so we're going to reapply that here.
LARPA survived that by 1 hit point, by the way.
The death ray always sets you to 1.
Now I feel silly. Thanks.
It's subtle. If you aren't, paying attention, it is one of those things that you probably don't think about until you're deep in a fight and have done it a bunch of times.
You have, however, given me my new favorite thing to say to Final Fantasy VI players in the final Kefka fight. Every time I see Fall 1 from now on, I will be saying, wow, they all survived it by just 1 HP.
Wait, you fight Kefka in the Final Fantasy VI speedrun?
Glitchless.
You can play that game glitchless?
I mean, y'all know I'm a rando nerd. I see all these Worlds Collide players. I will be tormenting their chats now, Demi. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Let's go. That was a very good fight there. Let's get some extra maximum hit points as well. What a good fight. Mm-hmm. We're getting close to the wallet threshold. Notably, every time we get hit points, we get 13. So now we're at 85. So we're 2 away from the donation number starting to tick upwards. I'm afraid. I'm afraid.
Oh, and you can talk to Avon there for more plot. It's like, well, we don't know where the prince went, but we're going to keep our ears to the ground. And we're like, well, we're worried about yada yada. Let's go check on some stuff. And didn't you tell me there was someone we would never see again?
Yeah.
Like 3 times over?
Yeah, that's definitely not David. Hi, David. Hi again. I thought we were never going to see you again, but I guess you're back. But yeah, we're going to go home and probably sleep in our bed, but the problem is our bed has been absolutely obliterated, as has the rest of our world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the Sage Avon does have enough magical power to point the gate back home, so we're going to be revisiting our home world. One of the fun things we discovered early on while routing is that some of those magical shards, where they are your first time at home, are not in the same place the second time, and you can actually save time by just not getting them the first time and paying attention to where they move to. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's tower time, though. What does that mean?
I think that means it's Zokabun time.
All right. Well, I do have a $5 donation from someone who's very concerned about some of the things you're doing here. Here's $5 from Jamie saying, hello, speedrunner Varonis. It's Jamie, the lead QA of the game. Did you just use an agility potion on the robot? I'm trying not to get fired here, so please don't do that in the future.
Just shout outs to everyone involved in the development of this game, QA, developers, music. Every single person I've had the pleasure of talking to on their Discord has been absolutely wonderful.
And if Jamie is the particular QA, I will not say the username just for privacy purposes, has helped us out a bunch, giving us new ideas to work off of and just really helping clean the run up to an excellent degree. Very, very great friend to us here in the Varonis speedrunning community.
Yeah, they did a post advertising this to everyone in the Discord earlier. And, it has just been an honor and a pleasure to get to show off this wonderful creation that they've put together.
But we're back home. Our world's kind of ruined. The Knights of Varonis are standing guard against... it's Ares.
Ares, not of Varonis. The big thing is that Prince also hints towards some of the legendary swords of the world. But yeah, we have to fight Ares, and Ares has the Aegis Shield. And as you can see, the Aegis Shield... Oh, nice!
Yes!
So basically what ends up happening here is that the enchanters are just buffers, and Ares, of course, is a very prideful god, very true to the Greek mythology. So he also doesn't attack you because he knows he is super hyper, totally invincible, cannot be killed. The big thing is that so you kill the skeletons and he will resummon units as they die. And if you resummon skeletons, you have to kill them because skeletons will fight you and get buffs and then fight you a lot. If we get enchanters, though, we just get to mash the run button here, and nothing happens, and this makes this fight free. Actually free. One of the actually free fights of this run.
Yeah, this is a fight where we're just sitting here, and it's a fixed number of turns. So having enemies that can't actually do damage to us means we don't have anything to worry about.
Ares here also subtly hinting at some of the strats we use to make the end game work. What's that? You're just going to buff your entire party stats up to ridiculous numbers? If only you then actually attacked us afterwards, maybe that would be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
We know how to attack things afterwards.
Yeah.
Right, so we're gonna take this LMG off because it's not useful anymore. We're gonna put on the Thunder Shield, which is extremely useful.
Yeah, the Thunder Shield's the first shield in the game that doesn't just cover the user, it covers the entire party. So this gives party-wide immunity to thunder attacks, gives additional defense to everyone. So now, even though Natara does have that 3 times targeting situation going on, when our other characters start to get attacked, the Thunder Shield applies to them just as well.
Money routing. This is the single most tight shopping trip in the run, and just barely managed to squeak out picking up both the Cat Claw and the Ninja Glove there. Some great pieces of equipment for our robot at this stage of the game.
Yep, the Cat Claw is tier 6, so greatly increasing our agility damage multiplier here, which is super, super important. And the Ninja Glove gives us its 7 agility.
7 agility and 7 defense, and a pile of hit points.
Yeah, because of the robot, you'll note that we are strapping all these weapons to typically, not a whole lot of defensive gear. Like, you kind of use the robot's HP as its defense, but as we get going further and further into the game, even that will be insufficient with the damage we're on the receiving end of. So you need to put a few points in there. And if you can get agility at the same time, why wouldn't you?
Yep, making our way through the cave. This world should look vaguely familiar. There's where we started. We'll be back there soon.
Are we going to sleep in our own bed?
No. Maybe. Depends whether or not we need to take the inn.
Yep, we're going to run down here. We're going to grab the extra katana. Because katanas are good money.
Katanas are great stat sticks.
At this point, you could go home, and you would receive some plot points about where to go next. We already know that. Come on now.
If you play casually, though, you should check it out and see all the information because you won't know where to go. But yeah, we're going to grab another shard here. Make sure we get that water shard out of a hidden room there, just because we're going to need that later.
Annoyingly, one of the few that only appears once you're back in Homeworld Revisited. Most of them, you can get either visit. That one does not generate until you're back here again.
So yeah, so we are going to take a save and reset here because that will turn the lights back on, so...
Normally, the game expects you to go elsewhere and reclaim that flashlight we used in our first time through Homeworld, but we discovered that, well, I mean, you just reload the game and you undo the darkness activation, and we scoot on through.
Gonna grab another shard and some armor and some salted meat, which is just money, and we're gonna keep on moving and grooving through here.
Yeah, salted meat is very useful to casual playthrough if you have any monsters. What it does is it allows your monster to retransform back into any previous form you've picked up. So it's a nice security blanket if you want to experiment with, you know, all the different forms of the monsters. You can get back to a form that you know you like.
Yeah, because definitely not all monsters are created equal in the world. It's really fun to get them all because also, again, not relevant to the speedrun, but if you get all monsters of a particular level and you eat a monster from the same level, you get a random one of the next level. So endgame in a casual playthrough, you can end up with monsters several tiers above what you actually fight in the game. Monsters super fun to play with in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Inven?
Yeah.
You said that all monsters aren't created equal. Are you not part of the Resistance? Have you given up on the Resistance here? Do you believe in the stratification of monsters as a class?
Look, I just think the Prince has some good ideas about how to reorganize the entire universe. That's all.
See, I was going to take that a different direction, which is, you know, if you look at me and you look at Samoa Joe.
This fight's actually a little bit scary and is required because it blocks our way and we can't run from it. But basically what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be burning down the trooper and then burning down the... Oh, we're going to be resetting because our Esper died. But we're going to be burning down... we're going to be burning down 2 targets as fast as we can here, while we are trying to block out the Cyclops from the fight. Weirdly enough, the Cyclops has 2 eyes. Do not question it.
Well, in true Saga tradition, you're not going to make a new sprite for every enemy. And you know, I can see it. Surely this is Cyclops adjacent, right?
I buy it.
We really need Mechalink to wake up here because we do actually need to do some damage to get through this fight.
I'm just gonna reset real quick, do a quick additional reordering just to see what happens.
Yeah, the other way that we could reset the RNG is to actually sit and actually just wipe out of the fight. There's a retry option that would come up at that point.
Yeah, and if things start going badly enough, I will probably go for that after this round. But we did get the trooper down, so that's a good start.
And you can see how our robot's damage has been scaling here. 2 shots nearly anything that we have to run into now. And these monsters, being a mini-boss, are a tier above what we'd normally see in the world, even. So just being able to still take this fight down shows how you can scale that agility out of control.
Yeah.
The nice thing here is we do not need to eat meat from this fight, so it does not matter that Larpus is out of commission here. If you've passed out, you cannot eat the meat, unfortunately. So
Yeah, this will be relevant in a later fight where we do need to make sure we have our monster alive for a meat drop.
it also happens to probably be one of the 2 hardest fights in the game.
Yeah. If not the.
Yeah.
The twins are back together, and they are fighting because of their differing worldviews. Jonas seeks to follow the path of Inven and just close all the gates, seal the gods away so they can't come and destroy any more worlds. Janine is like us. Why not? Why not just murder?
I mean, if you've got a perfectly good Masamune,
I mean, when you have a legendary sword, all of your problems look like nails.
I do like that our party is like, how can we ever pick sides? While us here, you know, behind the controller and the monitor are like, no, kill them. Yes, absolutely. My verisimilitude.
You were just looking for the chance to say verisimilitude, weren't you?
Every video.
Every single day, huh?
Yeah. Wait till I talk about ludonarrative dissonance. We're gonna get really into it tonight.
I thought we were going to tell jokes. But yeah.
I fail to see the distinction.
So that's where ludonarrative dissonance comes in, because I'm expecting it to be funny, but we're not funny. We're being serious and you know, attempting to educate the people watching this on concepts about telling stories and how we go about the process of telling stories through video games. But the idea is that both your mechanics and your scenery, and they need to match up in ways, and the tone of the game needs to match up in ways that make it interesting so that it continues to hook you in. You know, it's the difference between Sea of Stars and Expedition 33, where one of them, I care about all of the characters, and the other one, at the end of the game, I forgot the names of everybody in about 35 seconds. I'm not going to tell you which is which. I'm certain that you can guess, but you know.
The punchy hot takes have begun.
That take's not even that hot.
That's true. That's a salsa everyone at the table will enjoy.
If I could present a challenge to Chad and the viewers at home, please absolutely send me your best guesses on which one you think is which in donations.
And of course, the target's punched in the face. Great way to wake him back up.
So, quick summation of what the actual storyline is here. Normally, you'd go home at the start and you learn that Borg and Jonas and the Knights attempted to attack Castle Ares. Borg got wounded, kind of got a little few circuits fried, and we need to go replace his ROM. And that's why we went to the Rebel base, not the Rebel base, we went to the Bandit Hut. Bandit Hut, sure, we'll call it that. Got replacement parts, ran them back home, and now Borg is with us. Just now we got the flashlight back.
You know, I think I ate at Bandit Hut the other day.
So yeah, but now we have the flashlight of Varonis, and so we do what any intrepid adventurers would do. We tape to our robot's head.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the only thing we know what to do with gear. We tape it to the robot. Just Borg is the robot who gets the plot gear.
So he's like our HM Pokemon.
Yeah, he's the Bidoof of the game.
Oh no.
Yeah, normally right there down that staircase is where you'd get stuck if you do not have Borg and the flashlight attached, but we knew this in advance, so.
Shoutouts to this cheeky little switch that we can do to open up the gate so we don't have to go back through that whole thing.
And then we're going to come to the most confusing dungeon casually, for sure, or at least one of them.
Yeah, like in my time, you know, interacting with this game and the community around this game, this is definitely the dungeon that received the most questions, because what you got to do is you're splitting the party in half. Never split the party, folks.
But we just split the party.
Well, nobody's perfect.
So yeah, we're in Fork Tower basically.
Yeah, and what we're going to do is we're going to use the walkie-talkie of Varonis to coordinate back and forth between the two parties. When I get in position with this party, I will use the walkie-talkie to switch over to the second one, and we'll be able to go back and forth, pulling levers that turn on and off the power in the other tower.
Yeah, so conceivably, we tried to run headlong down the middle path. Janine says, no, that's where the invisible laser beams are that fried Borg. We have to go up the towers to turn them off. Luckily, the laser beams in the towers themselves aren't quite so lethal. They just block your path and say, hey, you should switch over to that other squad right quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like getting through the initial path, not too tricky. Where the trickiness comes in is about halfway through, we find the air seed or the scuba gear of Varonis. And using that, you have to basically switch which tower you're bringing which party to. And that was a little bit of a head scratcher at first.
Yep, so essentially we're switching back and forth here because right now we need to turn on the escalators. You cannot actually go up and down them when they're turned off. They become flat and sloped and you slide down them. So we have to turn on the power, and so now we're here. And then we can start flipping the East Fire power, so now the other team's time is to move around a little bit and make some progress.
Yeah, but while we climb this tower, hey Zokabun, you got anything else for us?
Oh, absolutely. I want to remind everyone that you are just zooming through this game, Leggy, and time is running short on getting that Final Fantasy XII new game minus mode met. So, Chad, I want you all to do a little exercise with me. Take your browser on over to rpglimitrate.com/donate. Put in your name, put in your email address, put in whatever amount you feel okay donating. It's all going to the wonderful cause that is NAMI, the National Alliance on National Alliance on Mental Illness. I can talk, I promise. And any amount that you can donate helps us greatly. Now, once you've selected that, scroll on down to the incentives and select one of the fantastic ones we've got there. Now, you'll see add incentives. You click that. You have a whole list of them, but I want to direct you to Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age new game minus mode. Go ahead, select that, scroll on down to the bottom, and put your full amount towards the incentives by clicking that add button. And once you've seen that, go ahead and make that donation to NAMI. Send it on over so I can see the comment, and I love to read that on screen for you. And speaking of donations, I can read on screen for you. Here's $10 from Super Blood Wolf Moon, who says, "Go Leggy!"
Oh, thanks, friend.
And I also have love for you from a member of your party, if you've got a little more time for me.
Oh, please.
All right, well, here's $50 from Natara, who says, hello, my love. Sorry I couldn't be there today for your run, but you've totally got this. Go, Leggy!
Oh, thank you so much, love.
Imagine how powerful we would have been.
Wait,
2/3 of the best couch is still one of the best couches in existence, but
yeah.
miss you, Natara. We miss you.
Wish you were here.
Did you just sell the Psy Sword, love?
Already equipped one.
Oh, okay, just make.
We get two.
Oh, good. Thank goodness. My brain is like, I'm looking at the notes going, wait, did you just sell the Micron?
Not nearly that bad. We don't have to go back for it.
So you'll note that, for those paying close attention, like you did get the air seed at the top of the tower, and that's our cue to actually dip out. This is where we do our shopping trip and power up because of all the loot we got in Ares Tower. We do have to go back in, swapping the parties one more time, but this is when we purge our inventory of all the loot, we bump the HP on our human way up, and we go ahead and get re-equipped for the upcoming battle.
Yep. Now we can't get past 400 with HP 400, so now we need to spend more money in HP 600s. So we're going to get very, very, very swole at this point in terms of hit points. 428 is enough to take a fair few hits, which will be really nice.
Yeah, and our wonderful robot Mechalink is floating around 300 as well. So our stats are starting to get a little out of control.
All right, so we're going to flip-flop our parties here real quick. And then we are back into the Split Fork Tower here. And we are going to climb a second time.
Yeah, this time opposite parties. The big thing is that the left tower has two different ways into it. You can either go through a dark area or you can swim through a watery area. And so that's why we need the air seed before we can take Borg up the right, because he's the only one who can power the flashlight for the first option.
Yeah, so while we climb this tower, Zokubun, the floor is yours.
Absolutely. And we've gotten some more love from that Dragon Quest XI run come back in. And hey, chat, it's never too late to be part of that train. Let's start with this $100 from Furry Skin, who says, here's my part of the DQ11 Death/Hunter mech pool. $10 for 1 Hunter mech, $80 for 4 Death, and $10 because I can. Hopefully this can get that FF12 new game minus mode, which again, we are just 90 short dollars away. So hey, your donation as part of that pool can absolutely help us meet it. We also have $100 from Freedom Pulse, who was the commentator on that run. Hey, y'all, Freedom here. As promised, here's $10 for the Hunter mech and $80 for the Party Wives, with an additional $10 to round things out. I love this. Let's keep rounding donations out. But to continue that comment, here's $50 to the blindfolded FF12 incentive and $50 to keep the LARPus train rolling in some future games. We're getting a lot of love for LARPus this event, and I love to see it. Chat, can we get some love for LARPus?
I love LARPus.
And you've got time for more while we're continuing to climb that tower?
We're going to be here for a while.
Okay. Well, I have to say, speaking of jokes that y'all have made, I really, really enjoyed the XX of Varonis that was happening a bit earlier, and it sounds like some of our donors did as well. So let's start with this $25 from Yobari, who says, watch out for the audio board of Varonis. It's cursed. And also $5 from Drake Lake, who ties this into the secrets that we were asking for earlier. All these RPGs with secrets in their title. When are we going to get the well-known fact of Varonis? Good luck on the run. Thank you so much for all of your generous donations. And yeah, you know what? Tell me your best well-known facts of Varonis. I need to know.
The best well-known fact about Varonis is that Varonis is actually the source of all of the Agama in Final Fantasy I.
I was hoping you were going to go there.
I know. You know I know, and I know you know. And you know I can't resist a good Agama facts.
Wait, it's almost like we're dating.
Wait, are we dating?
I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, but we've got time for a few more.
Absolutely. Here is $100 from Imp, who says, thanks for showing off this neat gem of a game. Good luck with the run. I mean, Leggy, you are killing it on this run so far, so I don't know if that luck is needed, but you're getting those well wishes in donations anyway. Because here's also $50 from Meg, who says, good luck, have fun, Leg. Talk to any good bats lately? Kiki?
Hi, Meg. Thank you so much.
And that donation went towards Runner's Choice. And just to reconfirm, you do want those FF12 incentives to get met, right?
Oh, for sure.
And so let's give it a little update to you, chat. We are sitting at, again, $710 out of $800 for that new game minus mode. That's less than $100 away. Let's do this. You don't have much time. I believe in you.
Yeah, so now that we've looted the tower, I did forget to do one bit of equipping while we were menuing back and forth. So I'm going to take the quick extra menu here, put the float shoes onto our Esper so Millie can avoid the earthquakes that Ares likes to spam. But yeah, Lore Master Inven, do you want to go over what's going on right now?
Yeah, so Janine wields the legendary blade, the Masamune, which manages to break through the Aegis shield. It's destroyed. Ares' defenses are no longer absolute. But we also don't care about duels. In fact, this is the one fight in the game when you get to do 6v, well, kind of 1, depending on how things go. And it's a very fun fight. Like, you think, okay, it's 4 plus a guess, 4 plus a guess, and then you get to this fight where it's the entire squad rolling up to deal with this jerk who's wrecked your home.
Ah, dang. Okay. Good news is, Tank does do a great job of taking these side enemies out, and we can try to get the gaze off. Luckily, it's just enchanters, so we'll get some debuffs, but hopefully shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, hitting Larpus with Electro, reducing agility, not a problem. Reducing Millie's mana, not a big deal. What we don't want to see is Borg lose agility or Janine, pardon me, we don't want to see Mecha lose agility or Janine lose strength. Those are the ones that we really the bulk of our damage in this fight. The tank doesn't care. It does constant fixed damage like most guns do. So those 3 are our damage dealers. Rest of the team's on support here.
As Ares is still confused, by the way, did stab himself with the Achilles Spear and then decided it would be cool to cast Quake, but not in our general direction, which we're 100% okay with, honestly.
Unfortunately, Mecha did eat an agility down. But
this is still going well. Going well. Keeping confusion on Ares, this is one of the reasons why the gaze ability is so important. We did learn that changing Millie's name means you don't necessarily get that. And I believe in the run where you learned that, this is the fight that really stonewalled you. You were still able to struggle bust your way here, but this fight, just without being able to keep Ares locked down, to keep him from summoning, to keep him from using that full party-wide Quake, this is where that confusion is so key to the speedrun.
yeah, and you'll notice that I switched Borg Mark II over to using Tank on the ads that spawned. That was something that the QA tester you mentioned earlier, who's been helping us, throughout our entire process here, brought up to as a result of that run that Tank will take out most of the ads here just on its own.
Yeah.
We are under 1,000 hit points now, which is great, so we are making progress through this fight. We do need to top off a couple of party members here that are key to keeping this fight in one piece, because Janine's doing that 214 damage every turn.
Beautiful. One set of ads that fight, not bad at all.
Yeah.
If that confusion doesn't stick and you end up going through several sets of them, it really eats into your time. But just having 2 sets of enchanters, hard to do better than that. Great fight, great fight.
Yeah, any fight that, you have the full party alive at the end of is a good one.
So now Jonas is here and is like, yo, give us the sword. And Avon's like, no.
And so now we've got these couple of different factions floating around at this point. You know, we've got Inven and his faction talking about how he helped Janine find the Masamune years ago. You've got the prince and his faction trying to get to the top of the tower to become, you know, a god among gods. We've got our faction who's just like, Godslayer time. Wait, no, wasn't that earlier?
Yeah, that was earlier in the marathon. But that's okay because, you know, it was so nice we should do it thrice.
I'm definitely going to have to go back and rewatch the Crystallis block.
Yeah, busy day, obviously, but saw like the first half of the Crystallis run. Heard it was fantastic, though, so... We're going to grab one of our very first books here. We're going to grab the Cure book, which is going to give us access to reusable healing magic, which is kind of nice to have floating around.
Eternal World looks eerily familiar to somewhere we were earlier. This is another case of using the miniature interstitial worlds to communicate the broader lore of the game and what's going on.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the things I really appreciate about this game is that, you know, it's just subtle enough that you have to pay attention to what's going on, but, you know, just obvious enough that you can really piece the pieces together without too much effort.
Right, we're going to get the most important reading material that we can get, some light reading.
Library cards, they're great.
Yes.
Check your local one for secret passages that lead to ultimate nuclear firepower.
Support your local libraries, everybody. They rule.
Yeah.
You know who doesn't rule?
All the gods that we've slain because they're dead.
Well, honestly, per Leggy's recent opinions, it's not even the gods that are the problem at this point. It's this one stinky minion we're about to meet. So everyone fingers crossed because Isra is just such a jerk.
Yeah, like, at this point, we've been going fast. We haven't been doing much in the way of grinding, much in the way of level scaling. So we're definitely vastly under-leveled compared to where we're supposed to be coming into this world. This is supposed to be kind of a bit of a pushover fight here early on. And this is... I'm not going to say it. No, I'm not going to say it.
We're just gonna have it out at this fight. So it's 2 swings from our robot to take out the Demon Lords, and we need to get rid of the Demon Lords here because they are very problematic, and we need to take down the offensive capabilities of this team in a hurry. Because, boy, yeah, Ice 119, a lot of attacks for over 100 damage at this juncture. It is also why we dumped a whole pile of hit points into Natara and leave her in the front spot, and that we are basically saying, yo, target Natara, she's bulky.
Yeah, and one of the good news, however, is that this and the next fight are the last 2 before a significant power spike for the team. So, not saying that anything past this is free, but these are the 2 in a row that are just, they can really slow you down a little bit before you get that big bump.
Yeah, and there goes our damage.
Yeah, I don't think this might...
Yeah. Flare's great, but it's only doing 90 right now because, again, we just don't have the stats. I think I could do a better job on this if I focus more healing on Mecha.
Yeah, you did die to like a 190-ish hit from Flame, which is still a pretty big hit.
But yeah, we're gonna take a second go at this. Not even gonna mess with the RNG because I feel confident in our ability to get through it. I'm gonna go ahead and get that healing going early.
Yeah, we're just going to try and lock the Demon Lords out of a couple of turns here. That actually is going to be important.
And just keep everyone topped off.
Yeah, we don't have a ton of heals, and we don't actually equip the Cure book. It's not necessary. It doesn't do that much in combat.
Yeah. Like, it is a healing spell. It scales off our mana stat. None of our characters really have a mana stat to speak of.
Yeah. Well, our Larpus does, but monsters can't equip gear, including spell books, so...
Yeah.
Larpus is really trying to take care of it all just with their own innate heal ability.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, the poison tick was actually enough to get you back under 190.
Yeah, so we're going to try reordering this time. And if this doesn't work, we'll go ahead and take it from the top, take a wipe, and go from there. One of the annoying things about this fight, though, is that when you rearrange the party, you can run into situations where you get pairs of Demon Lords as opposed to just singles in each one of the... Okay, that one's not going to work. And if this doesn't work, we're just going to let it run through.
Now, we still do have single Demon Lords, so we're in the place that we need to be.
Okay, Ishra's locked down at least for a turn. That's good. That's good.
Throw the gaze over there. Make sure we get the heal up.
Yeah, Mecha is absolutely essential to this fight. Only one who does appreciable damage, so.
Yep. Ishra is rid of paralysis.
Yeah, we do need to pop off here for safety, though.
I need to do Thunder Shield still. Cat Claw, heal, heal. So here's where we get one of the useful things with the enemy HP. I noticed that the Demon Lord was at single-digit HP, so I was able to use the low damage flare to clean it up without any worries.
Yeah, so now we just need to just kind of unload on Ishra's around 2,000 hit points.
Yeah, but not. But given that the Demon Lords are dead, we're no longer worried about eating a fire and ice attack that does 150 damage to our team, which is, in spite of the gear we put on Mecha, still half that HP.
Yeah.
Notoriously hard to get magic defense on robots, and thus they are very vulnerable to that throughout the game. Until nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Yeah. So now this is where things do get kind of problematic. Our lockdown is dead, but we're doing nice damage. So the hope is we can just hold down the A button here and push through. So
Yep.
we don't need anything there. So perfect. That was a much faster Ishra than practice.
Yeah, again, this world is by far the most difficult section fight-wise in this entire game. Because again, the power spike comes towards the end of this world, and even then, the final boss of this world can be a nightmare if you don't get enough HP ups. This is really the point where Millie's HP matters more than any other stage of this game.
So we are going to be very careful about how we walk there. You'll see that some of the tiles have different textures. The ones that we walked on are irradiated and they deal us damage. There's ones that have a slightly different texture and they are badly irradiated. And we will get dialogue if we step on those tiles, wasting time.
Yeah, just for the plot point, so, last we were in a fairly modern world setting. Now we are in a world where it's a nuclear wasteland. And apparently it is ruled by an evil god Moloch who doesn't hide himself behind, tricks or, fake fronts. It's, hi, I'm the evil god who rules your world and you're going to give me sacrifices. I want sacrifices. Send them to me. And our little friend Zomi is trying to put a crew together. Has a mystic shard of, we'll get the shard of metal in a little bit, that can supposedly actually wound Moloch and cause us to be able to take him down and save this world from further degradation.
Moloch says, send your sacrifice-based donations to P.O. Box 8666.
But anyone in chat, you should send your regular donations to Nami.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Leggy.
Do you want to put more words out into the world right now? We got a little bit of time.
Oh, absolutely. So we just got a $50 donation from an anonymous donor who says, I'm here for the incentive of Varonis. Did I do that right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Well, friend, you absolutely did, because with that, you put us at $760 out of $800 to go on that new game minus mode. Again, if we get that met, and we need to get that met before the start of the very next run. It's so close. We've got just a little over an hour to go. But if we get that met, that will have Maladon, the runner for Final Fantasy XII, run through the game without being able to level up at all. You want to make this hard, right? And I'm going to sweeten the pot a little for you here. One of the prizes in our block currently, one of the grand prizes, is a custom Nintendo DS Lite with the RPG Limit Break 10-year logo designed on it. This prize is only available, you can only get a chance to win this prize if you donate by the end of Dark Lord, which is the run right after Final Fantasy XII. So why not make your donation now if you've done a cumulative total of $75 in donations this event so far? Or maybe you're a little close to it, top it over and help us top over this Final Fantasy XII New Game Minus Mode incentive while you're at it at rpglimitbreak.com/donate.
Yeah, I'm very excited for the new game minus of Ravenaster. We definitely don't want fire. We definitely don't want X-Fire, thanks.
So plot there, this mysterious brigand stole our new friend Zomi's shard of mystic metal. To what purpose? We don't know, but you'll stop thief. We stop the thief, we get the metal, and we have the team together. We have our squad of 4, Zomi's squad of 4. Let's get our sacrifice on.
Yep.
Wait.
We are the sacrifice.
Are we the sacrifice? Why is Ishra here? Didn't we kick his butt?
Not hard enough, I guess.
Are we going to have to kick his butt again?
Yes.
Heck yeah, let's go.
I do like that in spite of Ishra being relatively strong, is also apparently extremely dumb. Like, hey, we're back. You know we got chased off last time, but oh my gosh, 8 sacrifices. What could go wrong? Don't get too excited, Ishra.
Same strategy as last time. Second verse, same as the first. We need to kill these demon lords. We still need to keep Megalink alive as our primary source of pain, and we're gonna do the thing. You did the thing, didn't you? So Millie dropping here is annoying.
But it doesn't put us out of the fight.
Yeah, like, there's a lot still to go here.
Oh, are we blind? Oh, that's annoying.
Yep.
Okay, demon lords are out of the way.
I keep getting the paralysis wearing off immediately, and
We need a turn here, game. Well, now we don't need that turn so much.
Cool.
We do have an easy rearrange here at least.
Yep.
As long as it doesn't give us increased demon lords. So fingers crossed here. We want to see 1 and 1 on each side again.
Yeah, we'll take another stab at it, and if this doesn't work, we'll just reset, try again, and try to wipe for RNG. There was the second pack had 2.
Yeah, I can't really deal with that at all.
Let's try this.
I can't believe Zomi goes like, you know, Viva la Revolution, and then is like, on second thought, I'm outie.
I mean, Zomi is running upstairs to Moloch's lair to drive the metal shard directly to Moloch.
What is it with people being horrendously headstrong in RPGs and making really bad decisions?
It's a great way to drive the plot forward.
Like, this fight didn't start out so badly. Oh, okay, Millie dying was actually kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Like there was no way around that, you know, just based upon where the numbers are. Damages are ranges, but
And of course, taking different actions in the combat on the rebound will change the RNG slightly. So you could do things like, you know, attack the right pack of Demon Lords first, choose to take a turn off stinging to do a heal, and hope that this changes what Ishra does and or changes the RNG path so that when you do attempt to sting again, it actually lands and sticks. So anytime, and again, this changes run to run, but once so you're allowed to do a certain amount of experimentation in the boss fights, and this one is looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, we're at a good cadence. We're also not really running into issues with the blind status effect, which has been great.
yeah, like once you're blinded, you do want to see Ishra spamming Mustard Bomb. Well, we survived the hit, but not ideal. Okay, good. We'll love to see that. Come on, couple more swings, and we're golden.
Done.
Beautiful.
Whew.
Let's take Ishra's stuff. He's not using it.
And you did say you wanted to put that revive on for safety after practice earlier.
Yes. For the second Moloch fight.
Yeah.
Because here's Moloch. Our friends are not doing so hot.
Having a bad day. We're mortal and we serve no master. We're here to kill God. Well, Moloch's like, I'm God. How about this?
Nuclear launch detected.
Hey, there's a new path. Thanks, Moloch.
You can't. You do not have to just hand it to him, Inven.
But yeah, this fight is a forced loss. When you are down to one party member, a cutscene plays and the plot continues. So we're just trying to get through it as fast as possible. Hopefully Moloch bonks people, takes them out of the fight.
After a few turns, Moloch decides to really take the kid gloves off, though, and decides to start spamming some exceedingly powerful magic just to make sure that things happen.
And then occasionally just hits you with the poison.
Here we go. Here we go. And Moloch's like, I'm gonna cast nuke, and now you're dead.
And then Jonas comes in and saves us.
Jonas uses a paladin shield, Laura uses a smoke bomb, we escape, and do you want to talk to them about plot? No. Nope. Bye, y'all.
There's a lot of plot there.
Yeah.
We're gonna see zero of it. But we reach Neo Anakara, which is gonna be kind of our hub for this leg of the game.
Mm-hmm.
This
Nope.
leg of the game? You are the leg of the game.
No, I thought it was the leg of Varonis.
Okay.
We're going to pick up the e-saber, check your email for yours.
Oh, but yeah, plot. So Moloch says some stuff like, all the gods are fake. We all drank from this well, and we're all cursed. All we can do is destroy. We cannot actually create life, so I accept it. I will destroy everything. Very nihilistic. Jonas and Laura are like, we need a little more of that mystic metal if we're going to take him down. There's some shards out there. Let's look around and find them.
You should take a safety save here. Yeah. We have to take a safety save here just in case of the next encounter, because this is an encounter that we have to eat the meat, so we want to make sure that we have to make sure we get the encounter that we want, and then that's kind of important, because if we don't get the encounter we want, we might not get the meat that we want. So
Yeah. This is probably fine.
I think this is okay. This is what you hit in practice. It was
Close enough to this.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because we need Demon Lord meat in particular.
Mhm.
We do not need Rat King meat. But yeah, the E-Saber is tier 7, so it is another agility tier upgrade, so now you can see that we're swinging for over 300.
And also, as previously stated, we need to make sure that, 1, Mechalik stays alive, and 2, Larpus stays alive at the end of the fight so that Larpus could eat the meat then.
Yeah. Well, casting Flame on Nantara is pretty optimal here, honestly.
Yeah, though Millie does not need to survive the fight, it is nice just in case we do roll another HP up, because the next one, Demi owes money.
Didn't you say that you were going to join me on this one?
I did, I just didn't want to rehash it earlier. But yes, I am also in, as long as I can figure out how to do it on my phone. You'll have to help me.
Oh, we got the wrong meat, so we also don't get that HP up. That's actually bad for the run, so we're going to have to flip characters and try and get a better fight, because like I said, that's the wrong meat, and just going back into the fight and fighting it again, because it is fixed, we're guaranteed to get Rat King meat again. We might not have gotten Rat King meat there, but better to be safe here. You can get just Demon Lords. That's the optimal fight, because just Demon Lords will drop Demon Lord meat.
Having a little bit of trouble with the reorder in here. Let's try this.
Yeah, and we do want Demon Lord for multiple reasons. It has good defenses, has a few offensive spells, knows a heal ability, but most importantly has a teleport ability, which saves us a lot of running back and forth across this world and other ones.
I would really hate I'm going to say this out loud, and just to put it out there, I'd hate that this be a random number generation situation where we can't find an arrangement that gets us the meat.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, folks, we're going to take a short break to fix some tech issues, but don't you go anywhere.
Yes, we're back. We were here trying to get Demon Lord meat. I will give us another 5 count to restart the timer. So we'll get started again in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's jam.
Flare. I love Flare.
Hello, Flare, my old friend. Okay.
Ooh, stop that.
Okay, we'll try another spicy reorder. See what we can do.
Oh,
Hey!
wow.
There you go.
Optimal. This is the dream encounter. It's just a Demon Lord. It is 2 turns and done.
Bap out.
Yeah, see ya, friend. Please leave the meat at the door. Thanks in advance. Here's some HP. I guess I'm going to be leaving my wallet in advance. Cool. We ate the meat. Let's go.
And you can see that massive HP jump on Larpus, 150 up to 409, along with all the other wonderful stat boosts. I mean, we have been a Mana War since Angel's World. Did not promote at all in Homeworld Revisited, so this is a massive increase. There's that beautiful teleport spell. And we learned that the brigand who's collecting metal is a blacksmith who actually wants to use it to make a sword to kill the gods. So we can get on with that.
Go team! Yeah, so welcome to, if you're familiar with the Final Fantasy Legend II speedrun, you will be familiar with the area we lovingly refer to as the Disco Dungeon. This is the modern take on it that doesn't murder your eyeballs.
It doesn't cause me to get a massive headache when run, but we're going to grab a couple chests in here. The moving floors do kind of force us in directions, so you have to be sort of a little careful about that. That's why you can see why these paths are being walked around the edges of the walls, because you have to. And we're going to open the treasure chest. That wasn't a treasure chest.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
It was there the whole time.
But yeah, the 2 things that we actually want are in the treasure chest that we cannot see.
Yeah, we get the Transform book, which if you had traveled around the world and spoken with everyone, you'd learn there is a town of espers / mutants who actually worship radiation and the changes they're going through. But if you want to access their shrine and their shard of metal, you must be able to disguise yourself as one of them. So that's why we pick up the Transform book. Hey, nice volcano.
You can't miss it.
It's pretty big.
Here's our buddy, the blacksmith, who will actually start letting us turn in these crystal shards we found. And first item we get is the Psi Staff.
Not like that.
Oh.
It's one of the most expensive things you can get because it's 2 black shards, 2 white shards. But what it does is very simple. You use it on somebody, and it sets your magic stat to 900. And no, not 900. It'd be really nice if it said 999 to 99. Sorry, gods, it's a little late, everybody. A little tired. Which, of course, is our damage multiplier for Flare. So that Flare book that's been sitting on Millie the entire time, while Nice and All was doing 60 or 70 damage, we're going to not be doing 60 or 70 damage anymore.
Yeah, when we were talking about power spikes, that's the big one. The sad little damage numbers are no more. Millie is ready to sweep as long as she stays alive.
Well, with 111 hit points, the odds are
Better than they were in practice.
And you'll note that Jonas joins the team there, whereas the Jonas and Laura sprites are still there to have a conversation that we never had. It's really fun to ignore the conversations and see what actually still just stays there on the overworld.
Yeah, at this point, we've done a fair bit to optimize what plot triggers we actually need to hit and which we can ignore.
So yeah, they've realized that we're in the base. They fire off the alarms and they're like, "Yo, we've got intruders. Let's deal with the place."
And now I'm dealing with the inventory boss. So we can get rid of that.
I don't think you use the fur armor again.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cheap.
And then we've got this X potion that I can just use to heal you up a bit. Go ahead and sort things and figure it out from there.
Oh, don't forget
The box.
Right, yeah. And then actually grab the box.
Yep.
We're in the missile base to pick up some kind of special armor that will protect us from the worst radiation zones and give us access to more parts of the overworld in this section of the tower.
All right. Grabbing a bonus revive there. You do need to do a tiny bit of menuing in a moment.
Yep. Okay, so you're gonna get the Psi Staff. Don't think we have anything new for you, but let's just double check. Nope. Our human, though, it's an armor upgrade and glove upgrade. Our Esper actually gets that diamond armor.
Did someone get the Geta sandals, Demi?
What's that?
Did someone get the Geta sandals?
Geta sandals, I think, are in the next equip, but
Next equip, got
Yeah.
let me double check.
Yeah, they're a strength boosting piece of footwear.
Right, we use them for the robot for the end game.
You know how long it's been since I've run this. There's a reason I'm last on the leaderboard.
Of 2. You there in chat, who's watching this and saying, "Dang, that looks fun."
Bop me.
Get him to 3rd.
Yep, but we're fighting Set now, who is a total pain. But we have Jonas, and Jonas is going to defend Millie every single turn here because she is the team member that's going to do work here. Wow, Meteor on the robot. Normally we'd be worried about this, but
Not anymore.
not at this juncture. Cool.
Yeah, it's still annoying, but like it's not run ending.
Yeah, it slows the fight down. It does not force a reset.
Larpus is cursed.
There's that damage numbers.
Yeah, now we're going to do
Here
about
we are.
350 damage to all targets, which means that all of these fights with ads that are annoying that you need to bump down, yeah, they all get to go on vacation immediately.
Yeah, Paladin Shield creates a just complete immunity. Anything that would hit Millie hits Jonas. And Jonas, 600 HP, good armor, and of course the shield itself gives really good defense when he uses it. So fight's completely safe. Jonas and Millie together could probably solo the rest of this world, just the two of them, if they wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they wanted to.
Yeah.
We have to have a talk with Jonas.
What are we going to tell him?
We always like your sister better.
Do we though? Like, do we have to pick favorites? Is that what we're doing here?
We don't have to. It's easy, though.
Are we going to pick our favorite Final Fantasy?
You know, I will say that the Secret of Varonis is why the monsters keep increasing.
Oops. Mistargeted there. Hopefully it's not an issue.
No, use Thunder, which the Thunder Shield is like, that's why we use the Thunder Shield.
I think that last layer got set down to triple digits.
Yeah.
So
we're three casts out.
Or less.
Or 2, potentially.
Ooh, high roll
High
time.
roll time. 404 damage not found? No, we found a lot of damage.
Take me down to Hyrule City where the grass is green and I'm very pretty.
You are, though. Cool. Set's dead. That fight's pretty straightforward.
$13 more.
$13. Let's go. And we get the Rad Suit of Varonis, which will protect us from the radiation of Varonis that has been dropped on this world.
Yeah, special armor just turns out to be one of those cool radiation suits for when they're decontaminating Fallout areas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now we're in the ruins, which this place got exploded.
You know what else got exploded? Our Final Fantasy XII New Game Minus Mode incentive!
Yo!
And when you're ready, I've got those donations ready to read for you.
Go ahead.
All right, let's start with $10 from Sin Spitter X, who says, using the tech break to send some love to the tech team. Shout out to our tech crew. And also help pushing for the New Game Minus incentive. Less than 3. Thank you so much, Sin Spitter. And $30 from Musashi219, who says, the real secrets of Varonis are the incentives we met along the way. Consider the FF12 New Game Minus Mode incentive complete.
Woo!
Oh, hi, Zomi. I thought you were dead.
Nope.
Nope.
Just chilling in this cell. I guess Moloch just found him entertaining or something, because, I guess Moloch could have killed him.
Well, what is happening in here is Moloch is the one turning various beings into monstrous werewolf-type creatures who are kind of the radiation worshippers. So not only is he wiping out cities off the map, he's also performing weird genetic mutation experiments. Is there no depths this demon won't stoop to?
Man, we even got unethical science.
I just got turned around. Don't mind me.
Yeah, you've got a shop to do, but you've got to get to...
There it is.
Yeah, gotta get to the town.
And we're going to empty out the old inventory a little bit.
We do want to hang on to the Cure Book and the Gata Sandals.
Yeah, notably the arcane item that we just sold for a bunch of lucre is fantastic if you are not playing casual mode. It fully restores the uses of any limited use item. So, for instance, if you were playing on the modern mode and you were down to 1 use on your flare book, ta-da, it's back up to 50, for instance. All these items that you saw for sale at the blacksmith shop, limited use as well, arcane, will top them back up. But again, we choose casual mode for the speedrun so that ins and other rests restore our abilities. So that is just cash money for Leggy.
I wanted to fit a revive in here too.
Yeah. Trying to think of... I think I can get rid of the scarf at this point.
Yeah, we're gonna hang on to it, but
Yeah.
get away with not having it equipped.
Yep.
But yeah, we grab a barrier shield, which is an even better group barriering shield here. And we return to the Red Tower for the 3rd time?
No, I think we've only been here twice.
Yeah, this is just the second one. But now it's a cute little teleporter maze that we have to work our way through.
We're going to see all of the unethical science experiments, which we are not going to fight.
Oh, you again.
I just love how the opening line is, "Oh, come on, you again?" Like, exactly in that tone of voice.
Yeah, Ishra and us are totally sick of each other, but what Ishra doesn't know is since we last met, Millie has learned a thing or two.
Well, yeah, two. With this one staff. Demons hate this one trick when you wield the staff.
So all those troubles we had earlier fighting Ishra and the Goon squad is completely obviated thanks to Jonas with the Paladin Shield, the Sai Staff, Flare combo. Look at it go. You'd love to see it.
We are going to do some quick healing here because those damage numbers are a little scary right now.
Yeah, you end up, even though you don't have to reset the fight, you still do take 4 attacks from Demon Lords, which is unpleasant. Larpus, no.
Luckily, we do have that second revive in our inventory, so that's actually not an issue.
Larpus, no. But yeah, down goes Ishra.
Oh, $13!
$13.
Let's go!
Millie looking beefy.
Yeah.
We're scrolling the text quickly here, but Jonas decides to, you ain't gonna take that metal. We can't let you be making a sword that can open the sealed gates that Avon's been sealing. So what are we gonna do now? We have no metal shard. I guess we're just gonna have to figure out some other way of dealing with Moloch.
Have we considered a sword that can slay gods? Wait, he just took that option away from us. Have we considered a book that can slay gods?
That's the only thing I ever consider.
Oh my god. Please, movement.
The pains of using the fastest movement speed.
Gotta go fast.
It's faster for the speedrun.
Here we are, out of the maze, coming down here.
We're saving before we open this box, because when we open this box, we receive a medal. Basically the other medal that Ishra had was a fake, because why are you going to leave your most important magical relic with your mid-boss loser friend?
And now it's actual Moloch time. This is definitely one of the trickiest fights after Ishra won.
There is one nice thing about this fight in particular, which is specifically after Nuke is cast, he casts Poison right afterwards, which does not do any direct damage for the turn. It does apply Poison status, which is annoying, but the idea is that we have plenty of time we get a free turn to patch up afterwards. The thing is that Millie needs hit points because, in particular, Nuke can cast as an AoE across the party. And if that AoE across the party does enough damage to Millie, well, we're to the bad times brigade at that point. Scepter is a thing that we do want to see, which is just a defensive effect that then swings for, like, very minimal damage.
Yeah, especially with the barrier shield giving all of our party 99 defense every turn.
Yeah, a lot of shields give bonus evasion. The Thunder Shield notably did that for the team, but the barrier shield tends to be better at this point, just because of, again, how these physical attacks could just be one-shotting our robot, who has very little defense. Our Esper has very little HP, so the defense is actually better than the evade in this situation, especially when enemies use undodgeable attacks, or their agility is just so high they don't care that you boosted yours a little bit.
Yeah, but we top off here because it's super important.
Yep. We're in a really good spot right now in terms of the damage race and in terms of the damage numbers we're seeing coming out of Moloch. Again, this is a fight where you can easily sit for God knows how long trying to find a good attempt to get through, because not only do you need to keep your robot and Millie alive, but we do also need to keep our monster friend alive so that we can eat the meat when we're done.
Yep. So that's why this fight is long. This fight is a little arduous. We're gonna cast Flare like 20 times this fight. Like this is why having like getting recharges when you use ins is such a nice option for the speed run, because you're just gonna go through material really quickly. But yeah, also there's Scepter. The only annoying thing about Scepter is sometimes it stuns.
Mm-hmm.
And fun fact, the developers wrote the little plot lines in here so well that when reading all the literature, reading all the dialogue and everything, I thought this fight was another cutscene fight like Moloch 1, which then led me to discover that
Billy is gonna go down here.
Yep.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, that's not great, but, it's not great.
Depends on how close we are. I'm not.
Yeah. I don't know where we're at right now, unfortunately.
It's still looking like 4 digits. Does this drop us? No.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the hardest parts about this fight is if you have someone drop for the second time, it's hard to get a sense of how deep you are into it. And so, like, there's that tension of, do we keep going? Do we reset? Where are we at?
Oh, one fun thing, though. Each of the major bosses in certain other fights, if you do wipe, there are unique bad endings for kind of like the anti-chrono trigger. Instead of New Game Plus giving you a whole variety of good endings, you get a whole variety of bad endings if you wipe at certain fights, which just show how it could have happened if you really didn't have a, continue button or save options.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little worried about this attempt, but we're gonna push through. We'll see where we are after this nuke. Unfortunately, we're all out of healing, so we're just gonna let this one run out. Again, I have zero idea how close we are to beating this boss.
Probably not terribly close. Where Natara's day comes to an end for this fight. Yeah, the big thing is that Moloch does resist weapon attacks, which makes this just a pain. We're just gonna take the
Oh!
we can't. Well, it doesn't matter because Larpus is dead too. So
Yeah. So now we get that cutscene Inven was talking about.
the gates are sealed. We have failed.
And Moloch is left free to end the world. Once
Again?
more. And the nice thing about this is that it does change where the RNG seed is. So we won't get the same outcome like we were in previous attempts.
This is a.
Yeah, we're just not
Let's-
gonna. We're just not gonna.
rearrange. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And note that animation there is bugged. If you join the Varonis Discord, the devs have posted the video of what it will look like once that patch goes live.
Mhm.
So that is currently not intentional.
Yeah, it's like, okay, let's see what the RNG looks like on the second attempt. Literal worst outcome.
Yeah, literally instant failure.
Yeah. Do not pass go, do not collect $200.
Okay, but here we go.
And the flares are cooking again.
Mhm.
There's that barrier shield, making Larpus take no damage from that physical attack. We love turns like that.
Yeah, we do want to see Scepter. We do want to see, as long as we're using barrier, we want to see 4 claws. We're like Natara getting stunned doesn't do anything because the defend effect happens immediately anyways.
Yeah, if we see Char into Larpus, that's great because Larpus does have the fire resist.
So this is a roll check now. Okay, that's fine.
Yep. So we'll just go ahead, heal you up, and keep swinging. Make sure our DPS keeps rolling.
We do need to do a lot of damage on this fight. How long is like?
I forget what Moloch's exact HP number is. It's a lot though.
Being that it's Moloch, I think it's 6,666.
Would not surprise me. I just don't know offhand.
Like, it would be literally the least surprising thing ever.
Yeah. But given that we're doing 400 damage a turn, you can see how this is gonna
We're gonna cast.
take a few minutes.
We're gonna cast a lot of flares. Nuka Natara is pretty optimal here.
Yeah.
Again, Natara's the one character who, if dead at the end of the fight, is not a... Well, theoretically, Mecha can also die by the end of the fight, but you will be losing that extra 150 damage. But Larpus, extremely important to continued survival.
Yeah, we need Larpus alive, and obviously Mecha and Millie are doing the damage. Larpus, chip it in, which ain't the worst.
Yeah, just having the extra source of heal is so nice here because Natara can throw an X potion after a party-wide nuke. Larpus can use the heal ability, and then you are pretty comfy with Mecha and Millie to get to continue pushing your damage through the next couple of rounds.
And this is already feeling much comfier than the previous attempt.
Okay. One. 5 hit points. Perfect. Flawless.
That extra HP up you got earlier coming in so clutch here.
Yeah, worth every dollar. Also for a great cause.
We are starting to run thin on healing, but we're getting on in the fight here. Sap missing is great.
Yeah, just making sure everyone's all topped off.
Mecha Link getting hit with Sap a little annoying because Mecha's damage is still based on agility.
And also Moloch's.
We're in the home stretch now.
Yeah.
Oh, don't nuke Larpus. Well, it's fine because
We still have the revive.
off. And we topped off. We're at
Yeah.
400.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Larpus survives that pretty handily there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so this.
We have one last heal for safety, but this turn should end it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 2 digits, overkill.
I commend you.
And this boss is no Moloch.
That was a stretch.
They can't all be winners.
Eat the meat.
Yeah, this transforms Larpus into one of those. I believe Scarab is actually a higher tier than you can normally get. The meat of Moloch is super strong, and the Scarab has O weapon 2, teleport, cover ability, just fantastic monster for this last stretch of the game.
Yeah, like the only thing that Larpus doesn't really have going is Larpus's physical attacks are a little low on uses. But like, oh no, you can attack for a lot of damage only 15 times.
The other big thing is that you're going to see kind of a role shift here in the squad. Natara, who has been acting as our faithful tank this entire time, Larpus is going to kind of take over that role and be in slot 1 for a lot of things, whereas Natara is going to learn to read.
So we're given the Muramasa's Demon Blade, the other half of the great swords here, but we've got stones, We need to buy 3 specific spells here, which we want to be really careful about. We grab a copy of Cycle, we grab a copy of Life, we grab a copy of Heal. Uses up all the stones that we found. She will also tell us where stones are, so if you're playing this casually and you want to get all the spells, that's how you get them. We're not all about that life. We've got what we want. So we're going to teleport, we're going to go back in and out, and we're going to go back in. We're going to go back in.
Yeah, this is just a funny little way that you could have this bit of plot pan out, because it's a little out of order.
Yeah, they expect you to walk up to the door just on foot and find that it's locked, but teleport. Teleport's good. There are teleport items that we can't even buy yet, but because of us knowing our monsters and their abilities, we get it in advance and get to be a little cheaty with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we solved the problem of the sealed gate by cutting it open.
With our shiny new sword.
It is very shiny.
Oh, and very brief plot dump there. The person who sold us those items was the former god of that broken world. She gave humanity tons of knowledge of how to make nuclear power, and then they destroyed themselves with it. So she's kind of like, oh, okay, being a god is cursed. This kind of stinks. I'm going to go chill now. But then Moloch came along, and she's like, okay, I guess we got to do something about him. So, and she says that tells us about the well at the top of Babel, and that we shouldn't drink from it. We should destroy it, and all gods go through the door past it. Do not actually drink from it itself. That will just curse us as the other gods are cursed.
So do not drink from the well. Got it. What if I'm really thirsty? It's kind of dry,
Yeah, I mean, it is important to stay hydrated, but maybe don't drink the curse water.
but it might be delicious.
Not worth.
All right, I trust your judgment, dear. But yeah, we take it. We pop in there. That's the Grand Bazaar. But we pop in there because we're gonna do one of our last shops. But we run out here to grab an extra arcane because it's worth a big silly pile of money. Because we need. You see that we have 153,000 Varonis dollars there. It's not enough.
Okay.
But we walk all the way up to that particular line to trigger the access to the final door. So we can teleport back there in a minute. But right now what we're going to do is we need to keep the Muramasa, the Ice Spear, the Gata Shoes, the Laser Gun, and all of our books.
Yep.
It is really funny to walk up to the door and see, oh, Borg's here. Oh, Jonas and Janine are facing off. We'll be right back.
Yeah, we need to go and buy some books. We need some reading material.
And we're going to go ahead and re-equip our robot with some shiny new stuff.
Yeah, this is where we kind of convert mecha from agility base to strength base. The Muramasa we received ignores enemy defenses, so we're going to be hitting for a lot more. Sometimes we may miss just because we will have reduced agility, but it's far better to get those big damage numbers in with all the strength gear that the game just dumps on us at the end.
You're going to get a flare book. You're going to get a healing book for safety. Sort my inventory out real quick.
So yeah,
You're done with the katanas and the thunder axe, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'll sell them at the next shop. 'Cause
Yeah.
we got one more to go.
and
Yeah.
so Robot has the Mura equipped Ice Spear, Gata, and the Laser Gun now.
Mhm.
Okay, good. And so we come back here.
Save.
And we walk up, and they're like, "Yo, Natara, stop Janine from doing the wrong thing."
And Janine opens the door. The prince shows up, tries to murder her for her troubles, and her brother sacrifices himself.
Where do you put his paladin shield? Come on, man. Don't throw your body on the line.
Well, he used it. What do you think? Why do you think he took the damage instead?
So yeah, but Janine drank the water.
Well, yeah, well, not literally, but what has happened is the prince, who we now see the true name of, Lucifer, of course, has hypnotized her, mind controlling her, using her to his whims.
Annoying, but doable.
But it's going to make things a little tricky here. Normally what we love to do in this fight is use Millie's gaze. We've had it this entire time on Janine, because then Lucifer will spend his...
Actually, let's just...
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead and keep talking.
Okay. So what's great about this is that if you do confuse Janine, Lucifer's next turn will be spent using an ability that purges her of all status effects. He wants her swinging. He wants her on his side for this fight. So in doing the confusion, well, Janine's confused, doesn't really do anything to your team, may even attack Lucifer, and Lucifer's next turn is wasted on doing that. So basically you walk down the two of them with Millie, and the rest of your team is just pumping out the damage on Lucifer.
Yeah, this is what'll buy us the time that we need to use the Psi Staff to get our damage up and rolling, because we need that. We do need that 999. Already that 99. Still tired. We did cap out our stat to 99 so that we can actually do some real damage.
That was a good cover. That was really good.
I'm gonna use it on self.
That'll, if we need to heal, that'll make our heals so much bigger.
We're gonna need to heal.
We are going to need to heal. And we're gonna need to cover for safety here. But yeah, we're gonna focus fire. We're gonna try our best to focus fire down Lucifer as well here. But yeah, that heals for like 100 normally if you don't actually boost it up with the Psi Staff.
Rude.
Yes, now we're kind of in push mode here.
Yeah.
And you just had that leftover revive potion that you didn't have to use in against the...
True.
If you want to... I don't know if that's actually good here. It just look, contemplating the options.
I mean, we have it. Might
As well.
Yeah, especially if we can get a gaze off and get the lock like you mentioned.
Yeah, it'll buy us time to cast heal.
That was annoying because Lucifer used the Templar shield, which I think protects against confusion that turn. I'm not positive if Templar does that, but it may have just been a natural whiff.
And of course, she automatically recovers herself.
And during this fight, you get a dialogue from Borg saying to try to snap Janine out of it, which would involve doing enough damage to her to drain her health all the way, and she would actually join your party and continue the fight. But typically, that's slower than just doing the strat and burning down Lucifer instead.
Yeah.
And it adds a bunch of dialogue, and you have more directions to input each turn, so not the ideal outcome.
Yeah, at this point, we kind of just have to push. This is turning out to be a tricky fight. Like, if you can land the confusions, this gets very easy.
Yeah, there's a little bad luck this fight. Those early fights this game were so nice with the RNG, and it's biting us on the back end now.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but, you know,
Yeah.
I believe in us.
Oh yeah, you'll get
Got
through
this. We go.
Yeah.
There are 24 different party arrangements we can try to manipulate this RNG as we need to.
Like we just need to stick the first confusion. It's super important to just buy that time.
Yeah. And we'll see what. So I've tried it turn 1 before, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and sidestep Millie this turn. Get her ready to heal to keep the party up as needed. Which should also help her land the confusion. Because I believe its accuracy is mana-based.
All right, good. We get to Staff Natara here, so then we can really start the damage train much earlier this time, you'll see.
Yeah, luckily we are getting a lot of wasted turns where Lucifer is putting temporary buffs on Janine, and she just doesn't do anything with them.
Yeah, we're just going to top up here for safety.
Boom.
Honestly, I think we're pretty good just to push.
Yeah.
Ugh. That's a little scary. Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah, luckily she had already acted for the turn, so we didn't have to worry about that actually doing anything.
Yeah, the most terrifying thing that happens is Lucifer boosts Janine's relevant stat, and then she hits you with the weapon that corresponds to it, and it hoards.
Yeah, and so as we can see, because Millie's slow enough, gets the confusion back up after the Dawn cast, so now we've got them on lock while the rest of the party's DPSing. Though she did get rid of it on her turn, because of course she did.
Mirror Shield, thankfully, does negate the flare damage to Janine, but it does not actually reflect it. There's some mirror abilities that do, and some that don't.
Are we good?
Yeah, Lucifer's down to
three?
under 3 digits,
Yeah.
so just,
So we're in shove territory.
yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see if we can't get a little extra cash.
Nah.
Not this round.
The thought was good.
Mm-hmm.
Larpus is victorious, after all. So this is the part where I'm supposed to remind you of what your robot layout should look like in terms of equipment at the end of the game, right?
I think I'm there.
Yeah, I think that's what my notes say.
Yeah, because I put the 4 strength pieces on, and then
also, if we were going through the plot a little bit more efficiently, that Aven guy that we needed to keep an eye on, is evil.
what?
He's just like, oh, thanks for killing Lucifer and opening the door for me. I'm going to go become the real god of everything. Ignore this fountain. I got other fish to fry.
I got better ways to become a god. All right, free full heal.
So the gist of what's going on here is that this is the real final dungeon, and we learned that all the bosses, all the gods, are naturally resurrect here at the palace, and that if we want to fight Aven, each one of these we kill will reduce his power in some fashion. So hey, it's Moloch. He's not recovered his defenses yet. Bye, Moloch.
Bye, Moloch.
It's a saga game. We have a saw. What do you want?
So Moloch is actually the only one of the bosses we will be refighting because, well, you saw how fast and easy that was. All the others are a bit more time consuming, but this is excellent golden fusion. Arthur armor has its purpose as well. There's one other item we want to get in the castle very close to him. All this other stuff, we don't care about. Let's get out of here.
I can't believe you just sawed Moloch in half.
Really?
What a good party trick.
Right?
Oh, another fun thing that happens here is if you go back towards that gate, all your other party members who've joined you throughout the adventure, well, like, not the dingus at the start, nor Jonas, he's dead, come through. And you can actually choose who you want for your final party. We want Janine, because she knows how to read. And we're going to give her a lot of literature.
Yeah. But yeah, we're going to re-equip. Right.
Where's your
Here's
very good armor? Oh, did I buy dragon hats instead? Whoops.
Did you buy a dragon hat instead?
Whoops.
Oh, instead of dragon armor?
It's
Whoops.
all right.
It's not that big a deal in the grand scheme of things.
If we're truly a big deal, we can teleport back and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But you're gonna get.
And that cure book does go on Millie. We'd sold it in the practice, but your notes did say to give that to her. Yeah.
And then you have Natara.
That's gonna mecha because you are getting a Masa here, and you are getting a E-Saber here. We're gonna move that up to the top for convenience.
And you're on 4 strength and 3 agility pieces.
yes.
Yeah, looks good. 88.55. Okay, looks good.
Sort. Right, we need to get Cycle on Janine. That's the other thing I was missing.
Yep.
You don't need the Vulcan gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And what else we got?
Natara needs the wall staff.
Yes. Yes, yes. It is late. I am a little tired.
hey, we got you covered.
Yep.
So the wall staff that we picked up in the Palace of the Gods gives a permanent boost of 20 defense to the entire party for the duration of the fight. So if you can spend the turns to do it, it's basically a free barrier shield, and then you can put Natara to work doing other things.
Reading a book.
Yeah. And obviously, since we did not kill any of the other gods in the palace, the fight will be long. In true Lavos fashion, our upcoming boss will rehash certain earlier fights from the game. Each god you kill removes that from the pool, but we kind of like how it starts. It gives us time to power the team up and then just burn the rest of it down. Whereas if we were to do Palace of the Gods, we have to go through this slightly confusing maze. You have to do each boss's dialogue, kill them all over again. There's some really great loot there, but we're going to be pretty much all set anyway.
We still have money, and we can buy more HP up, so we can.
Eh. Oh, it's using the inn that's the cutscene.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, we did not have to do this cutscene, but this is where the prince respawns and is like, "Oh, I know you just killed me, but we have a spawner up here."
And he's all like, by the way, Avon's the bad guy. And we're like, we kind of figured that out already. But also, he kind of warns us, oh yeah, by the way, all the gods are back.
Janine is like, "Oh, you don't have your power back yet?" Stab.
Okay, there's all our friends.
You lost Janine because of the cutscene.
God damn it.
Yeah. That would have been awkward.
Especially with all the stuff I just gave her.
She has stuff to read. Let her take a break. No break.
No break. No, you need.
No breaks, only God's leg.
But yeah, the Avon fight is
Long.
It is multiphasic. Every boss that you kill in the other area does shorten this fight up. But otherwise, that's fine. Avon's like, you want to be cursed? Like, no, I just want to run this sword through you, friend. I would like to put this Masamune directly between your 3rd and 4th ribs.
And that was the architect who actually created the tower in all these worlds, who just they fell over dead. No real explanation, but who needs it? We have a bad guy to kill. Priority numero uno.
Yep, so he summons up the 7 swords, so we're going to try and we need to get our side up on all of our flare casters about as straightforward as possible. Even is immune to confusion, which is really annoying.
But it was really just to burn Millie's turn until we got the Psy Staff on her,
and then
she will
now
go
we
to...
can start working.
Yeah. And there's a big reason why we want that Moloch meat to get our Larpus turned into a Scarab Beetle. As long as the swords are attacking Larpus, they're doing nothing. Complete immunity to weapon attacks.
All right, so we've got our third and final Sai Staff up, which is great. Yeah, Larpus being in front here is super important for this fight, in particular for odds purposes. This is great. All of our Sais are up, and so now it is time for the damage.
Yeah, and as you see, Datara is using the barrier staff to just, stack up as much defense on everyone as possible. Once everyone's capped out on defense, they will also join the flare spam.
And as we've been talking about how robots, if you are going full offensive with them, have poor defense, Mecha is the one we're just nearly topped out on. Everyone else is already capped. But soon Mecha will be there and just have as much defense as everyone else.
Yep. As you can see, that hits for 100 damage, and a lot of those rolls were very low. Cool. So defense is done.
Yeah, Millie actually survived a large 7-sword attack. That is not something you see very often, even with that maxed up.
Yep. But we're going to top off a touch here. Janine, of course, is a brick wall at this point and just takes the hit, no problem. Right, one sword is down. As we're gonna start, this is a multi-phasic fight here. So right, Aven's gonna defend, which is fine.
Yeah, the fact that Aven is defending so much against the flares is annoying.
It's probably a little less annoying than healing himself for 825 like he was doing all the time in practice, though.
I was still doing more damage to him.
That's true, that's true. I guess it just depends on how many flares you have queued up on the turn.
Yeah.
Yep. The temporary agility up makes your accuracy go pretty far down there.
Luckily, flare do not care.
Ow.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we've got books on Janine. We've got reading material.
Yep.
But we're going to transition out to phase 2, which is double Aven, where he actually turns into the spirit of the slain Fenrir and Jormungandr here.
We're going to have to hit life next turn.
Yeah.
I misinput there.
That's fine, because life does have one advantage, is that it doesn't target. So we're just going to basically get the double life here.
And also, we did just get hit with a defense debuff on Larpus, which you...
Oh, that's actually bad. Backup revive?
I think you burned it, didn't you? Oh, no, you still have it. Good. Okay.
It's fine.
We have 10 cover 2s on the Scarab Beetle for a reason.
We're going to put our oxygen mask on first here.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and as I was saying, Larpus's defense did get reduced, but you don't have to reuse the wall staff. The cycle book we got earlier eliminates all status debuffs we've received, but it does not mind that we buffed everything up earlier. So once things stabilize again, if Larpus is looking at physical damage, which Larpus probably won't, that is also something you can remedy. The cycle book's really for a later phase of this final boss situation.
Yeah, and one of the really nice things about this game in general is that when a character dies, any stat buffs you've put on them stay. So you revive with all of your defense ups and your mana up.
Mana, yeah.
And all that good stuff. You don't have to worry about reapplying all those buffs.
But yeah, so we're almost through here. There's the first enemy is about to drop. Oh, he is dead now. So that's one. The other one's under 1,000, so that's great. Is down. We'll go to phase 3, which is the legendary heroes.
Yeah, these are the beings that Aven adventured with in his youth when he found the door at the top of the tower and made enemies out of Lucifer and several other gods. This corresponds to the Ares portion of the fight. You do get to skip this one if you take Ares down in the tower. but the big threat here is Leo there in slot 2, who has a reflect ability. We want him dead before he bounces our own flares back at us.
Yep. I am going to take a little time off with Janine, especially given that we've already burned the safety life. Just to make sure we heal the party up a bit. Make sure that Janine does not fall because, again, she's the only one with resurrection stuff at this time.
Okay, that's good. We're pushing through now. Next target is going to be the rightmost target here.
Yeah, and that's just a visual glitch with the monsters. Some forms are very clear on the field, others not quite. But we do want it dead. There is one monster type that can Jay can transform into that does have a revive ability. We do not want to be seeing it.
I think we're good. No, we're not quite there.
Yeah, Janine's kind of just in recovery mode.
I think the other problem is when it transforms, it recovers a portion of its HP, so...
Annoying.
That should kill it.
Okay, this...
Oh, wow! You cleared the round.
Triple kill.
And there it's calling for Moloch, but no answer. And we're on to... which god is even going to summon this time?
Who knows? Avon is immune to dead.
Yeah, we just used the saw to burn the time, and then he resurrects Lucifer.
Who is so mad about it. He hates Avon so much, but has no choice.
And of course, Avon taunts Lucifer on the way in and just goes, "Hey, yo, by the way, maybe don't die again, jerk." But yeah, these flares got softened up by the one turn minus 70 mana, which is very annoying. Lucifer, please stop that.
You're just wasting my time at this point. Yeah, luckily this is the last phase of this fight. Then we have one more fight after this before time.
So we're very close. We do need Lucifer to chill. Lucifer is just like...
Lucifer knows our tricks. He saw what we did earlier.
Yeah, this is just rough RNG, unfortunately.
Yeah, Vainglory is fine, just reducing defense.
And we love to see Avon heal Lucifer, because, again, Lucifer's not the one we're here for in this fight.
Yeah, Lucifer can get healed all he wants at this point.
Yeah, our monster is out of attacking moves at this point, so we're just kind of vibe chilled with the Stone Skin. Not going to really do anything, but we need to do something.
All right, Lucifer goes down. Not that it is truly that important.
But we may get to see something funny. Is it going to happen?
Stop healing yourself.
Good call.
Start healing yourself. Wait,
what?
Yeah, you'll notice that Lucifer, despite being
there we go.
down...
I'd rather return to Oblivion than serve you. And Avon's like, lol. Also, Lamau.
Yeah, so if you do accidentally kill Lucifer, or if Lucifer just runs out of HP first, it means that Avon is going to waste a turn reviving, which...
You do get funny dialogue, though.
Yeah.
Ow. And as you can see, this fight is very long, so I am just playing it safe here in this final phase a little bit, just because I don't want to have to redo this whole dang thing.
Thanks, Avon. Thanks for dying, friend. All right, one fight to go.
We actually got 2 gold pieces instead of 1 because Lucifer died during that fight.
Yep. And we got the 7 sword, which is, you know, nothing that we can use, but
Yeah, we literally do not get an opportunity to equip it between that fight and this coming one.
Yeah, in a casual playthrough at the end, it does let you reload your file and go explore and use the 7 sword. But no, we're just here to win.
so yeah, we do get a full top off of our buttons here. So we're basically set back to the state that we were in before the Avon fight started. Great stage is 1 enemy, 1 phase. Time will be at the end of this fight, but we're going to do this the same way where we're going to buff up. He's going to debuff us a lot, and that's what Cycle is for. Cycle, again, as Inven noted earlier, will reset our stats to what we set them to, not to what the enemy has set them to.
Yeah, because you're going to see all these turns of stat down, stat down, stat down, and when that's done, we say, oh, well, hey, cool turns. Glad you wasted them. But Demi, did you notice something else at the end of that long fight versus the Sage Haven?
No, what did I miss?
$13 more.
$13.
A nice even 50 at this point.
Of note, even though this is the last fight of the game, we can get $13 from this fight. Also, we did get it in practice. So yeah, there's Cycle. As you can see, all our stats go back up to where they were, which is great. And so we're under 10,000 already. But this is the actual gimmick of the fight. It's called Eon. What the Great Sage does is it locks out everybody else's abilities for a few turns, and you can only have 1 character taking turns. This is more annoying than anything at this point, because we just can't really push. And then whenever it's free, we're back to doling out maximum damage is the idea here.
Yeah, the Great Sage just points at someone and says, yo, 1v1 me.
And they're like, okay. All right. But yeah, we're pushing now because, well, you know, what else are we going to do here other than do damage?
Yeah.
Good final boss music, too.
Mm-hmm.
Picking Millie back up here is still a thing to do because the damage pushing is so nice, and it's actually kind of cool that if you use the revive on the same turn Aeon is used, that character does not get frozen, so you still get to have 2 characters pushing damage.
Yeah, which is so nice. Like,
Dang it.
But sometimes, you know, poor Millie.
just gotta keep shoving.
Yeah, we just need to get through the last bit of this health bar here. Yeah, now we're going to get 3 people with turns.
Under
We're almost
999.
there. All right,
Yeah.
we get ready. And,
And time.
Very nice final 2 boss fights.
Mhm.
No severe problems.
$13!
Let's go!
Yeah, I'm gonna join in on the HP dono.
It's 63, everybody, so...
If you're playing along at home,
Yeah, so that is the secret of Varonis. I hope you learned a thing or two about secrets and keeping them and why you should play this game. We need more speedrunners. Bot me at Inven. It's great.
there are definitely routes that do so. This is more of a marathon safe route. We have been looking into ones that ignore some of those mana crystals. Like, you know that revive book, the life book that Janine was spamming in that final fight? You don't have to get it. You can just, you know, either be a little more defensive, be a little riskier, and you would destroy the 2 of us. You may not want to do that in a marathon.
Yeah, like when Inven and I were initially cooking, we, started with this sort of safe route and got here. Been showing it off. Would love to see more people running this. Would love to see, just more people playing this and experiencing this wonderful game. While we roll credits, I know I was a little bit slow today. I just want to do a quick shout out first and foremost to my wonderful couch, Demerine, Inven, and Nataran Spirit. Unfortunately, they weren't feeling well. They aren't here right now. I want to do a shout out to our wonderful host, Zokubun. I want to do a wonderful shout out to our tech crew for this event, and especially the tech crew for this run in particular. Thank you for getting us back in the middle of that Demon Lord fight. I just want to shout out all of my friends here at RPG Limit Break. Y'all make it worthwhile year in, year out to be here, to dedicate my, a week out of my life every year to just hang out with some of the best people I know. Thank you.
Thank you, Leggy. And I've got some shout outs for you from what seems to be the Varonis community. Before we let you go, here's $10 from No Funeral, who wanted to say, proud of my brother and the rest of the team behind The Secret of Varonis. Thanks for featuring the game on RPG LB. Y'all need to grab that soundtrack when it drops. The music slaps. I'm not hearing any lies in that one, chat. Are you? And also, we've got $77 from Sai saying it's been thrilling watching people enjoy Varonis, and even more thrilling seeing the game played for good. Nice work, Leggy, and everyone at RPG LB. Thank you so much for that donation, Sai, because we can't have this event without donations like yours. Now, chat, if you are looking to join Leggy, Demi, and Inven on that HP donation, I gotta let you know, we do have another incentive open. That is another category upgrade. Coming up later today, we're gonna have RoboTrack. That's right, we've got a RoboTrack run. It's currently any percent, but if we reach $1,000 raise, we will upgrade the any percent run to all quests and capsules. We're currently sitting at $190 out of that $1,000 total. So, we're 19% of the way there. That run is going to be after Dark Lord, but we want to get that incentive met before that. And you know what? While you're donating, you are entered into the chance to win prizes that are only open until Dark Lord. Leggy and crew were referencing Final Fantasy, and you know what? You've got the chance to win Final Fantasy 1 through 6 Pixel Remaster Collection 2. Pixel Remaster Collection. That was provided by Team Murdoch 8, and for a $10 minimum donation, it could be yours. So once again, rpglimitbreak.com/donate. Make sure you scroll all the way down and select an incentive when you make that donation, because we couldn't have these changes to our runs. Your donations absolutely impact the marathon and make a difference in the world, because they all go to NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness. We also actually have $125 from That Trans Tank, who says, thanks to Leggy, Demerine, Inven, and Zokubun for an awesome night sharing The Secret of Varonis and giving me a valid reason to procrastinate going to bed. Thank you, That Trans Tank, for joining us on that wonderful run and sticking around through that tech issues. Again, hey, send your love through donations to our tech team, because you know what? Didn't they do awesome? Now, we did also get a couple of fantastic donations during the run that I didn't get to read, and I want to shout out this $250 from an anonymous donor, which just says Zoida. Zoida to you as well, anonymous donor. But thank you so much for that generous donation to NAMI. And speaking of supporting NAMI, $25 from Midnight Arcade, who says, thank you for supporting NAMI. You are also supporting NAMI, Midnight Arcade, and all of you out there watching at home, in chat, here in the stream room. Again, we could not do events like these without a community like you. Now, if you're wondering about this wonderful cause that we've been talking about, NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, let me tell you a little about them. because they are the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization whose work is focused around three main pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. Now, what does that mean? Well, let's talk about advocacy for a bit, because NAMI engages in federal advocacy and supports NAMI state organizations, such as the chapter here in Denver, where RPG Limit Break is taking place, in their state level advocacy efforts. And all right, folks, that is it for my time on the mic here at RPG Limit Break. Well, here on day 3 of RPG Limit Break. I will be back later in the week hosting the Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu Diploma Co-op run. And I'm looking forward to seeing you then and also enjoying the content team segments with y'all. But it is my pleasure to be handing it off to the wonderful Hockey Babbler. You are in fantastic late night vibes hands. And while you're at it, while you're waiting for that takeover, go ahead, get a stretch, get some drinks, get some snacks, because we're going to toss it over to a quick break. And when we're back, we'll have more fantastic runs for you all.
Happy time zone, gamers, wherever you may find yourself on this glorious morning, afternoon, or evening. My name is Hockey Babbler, and it is my utmost pleasure to be here with you at RPG Limit Break 2025. I'm here to host the upcoming run, which is Final Fantasy XII, The Zodiac Age. And y'all, you are not going to want to miss this run coming up. So make sure that you've got your snack, make sure that you've got your drink, make sure that you are cozied up and prepared for an incredible adventure, because we are going to have so much fun together. But before we get going with that run, I just want to make sure that we're reminded of why it is that we're here. All of your donations, remember, are going to NAMI. What is NAMI? In the NAMI helpline, for example, one of their many services that they offer, is a free, US-based, nationwide peer support service providing information, resource referrals, and support to people living with mental health conditions, their family members, caregivers, and mental health providers. The NAMI helpline is available Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Time via phone call, text, and live web chat. To reach the NAMI helpline, please call 1-800-950-6264 or visit nami.org/help to access all NAMI helpline resources and contact information. And remember, your donations during this event are going directly to support NAMI and all of their incredible work that they're doing. It is desperately important now more than ever that we support one another and come together as a community. And it's events like these that really help me to feel good about the world, that give me hope. Because together as a community, when we come together, we can make amazing things happen, chat. Just like you. Earlier tonight, you unlocked New Game Minus for Final Fantasy XII. And that's going to be absolutely incredible. You know, Madelon's not going to be able to level up at all. And that's because of you, chat. You did that. With your donations, just type in !donate in chat, by the way, if you want the details on how to get in on that action. You made this happen. Something else you could make happen if you feel like torturing our runner is you could make Madelon fight blindfolded some of the bosses later in the run. We are just over 2/3 of the way there. I know it seems a little daunting. The number seems a little big, but we can hit it, chat. I believe in you. So put in your